craven, torn apart by the greedy, weakened and exposed, forever on the defense.
Welcome to the stream, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Coming off the hype of the Warhammer 3 trailer. Man, oh man, that was some really, really cool stuff. Super excited, and yes, I will eventually mix in some of the footage from that to this cinematic intro we do have here on the channel. However, I'm probably going to be waiting for a couple more trailers. I just want to make sure to get enough good stuff in there before I redo the whole thing. Yeah, so for anyone wondering, that is from the Doom 2016 soundtrack. It's called the BFG Division, and it's done by Mick Gordon. It's a soundtrack for the game. How's it going, Falcon? Welcome, guys. When will we get to see the polar bear? You're going to have to ask Lady Turin. She's the one who put up that poll. Welcome, welcome. So today we're going to be going through a couple of replays, a few best of fives from the Gran Turino Swiss League Week 5. We're currently playing Week 6, so we'll have replays from that relatively soon. But this is from Week 5, and we have some really, really close competitive matches, which should be quite a bit of fun. Yeah, we're here. So hang tight for a minute. Enjoy your tea, enjoy your coffee, whatever you got there with you, and we'll get this party started here in a hot minute. Falcon, you'd be proud, man. I've been playing a lot of High Elves in my Swiss League games. I just had some good success with them a couple times. Yeah, I'm trying to learn the way of the dreaded Phoenixes. How long did the trailer? Not too long, couple hours. Like, because basically you just get the music. You have to go get all the clips off YouTube or wherever, and Yeah, and then you just splice them up and try and sync certain things. It didn't take that long, probably like 3, 4, 5 hours maybe. I can't remember. My hand's a little bit slow. I got the old pirate hand, so only watched the trailer about 10 times. Yeah, I watched the Warhammer 3 trailer, gotta be at least 10 times. Yeah, it was so cool. Really excited for Kislev for sure. I love the human factions in fantasy genres. You know, you have Gondor and Rohan, and then you have the Empire and Kislev and Bretonnia. I've always liked them from a lore perspective, so I'm pretty excited to get Kislev on the tabletop as well as the game eventually, whenever that comes out. I didn't even play them, but you're excited for the Ogre Kingdoms trailer, says Quentin Jackson. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to be one of the starting factions. So they said that there's going to be a race pack that you get for, if I'm interpreting their FAQ correctly, it says there's going to be a race pack for pre-ordering the game. So that could be Ogre Kingdoms. It could be Chaos Dwarves. You never know. Whichever one it isn't, that'll be probably the first DLC in the game. So that would be what I would wager. So Dingus McPickle, no, because typically game soundtracks are fine. Except for the Heroes of Might and Magic soundtrack. Every single Heroes of Might and Magic stream I did, for some godforsaken reason, I got like and I was just playing the game. I wasn't even like, using the music for any other reason. I was playing the game and like I got like attacked by the copyright system, which was really weird. You want your Slanesh army so bad? So I actually have a whole prediction on how they're going to be doing the Khorne army. So I put together a document. I'm going to be making a video on it soon. Just based on what I've seen in tabletop and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, should be fun. I'm pretty excited we're getting Cathay too. Kathy, we'll call him Kathy. Cathay should be quite awesome. They just bring all the Three Kingdoms heroes and throw them all in a faction together. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, Cathay is interesting. Kislev, my wife is Polish, so Kislev is the jam here in this household. But yeah, no, Jason, I hear you for sure. It's going to be because they've never really been represented, and I believe in tabletop Kislev was like an attachment to the Empire. Like they had a couple models, but yeah, Cathay is just a lore blurb basically. Lore Master of Sotek said it's probably Ogre since the. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, sounds good. Chaotic Blizzard, that makes sense. Maybe the publishers of Might and Magic went down the greedy road. I don't think it's the game company Ruger. I think it's just the composers of the sound of the music. Yeah, I mean the game's from 1999, so the great Kathy. Oh my god, I'm gonna have some fun with thumbnails on that. Just getting some glorious Karens and yeah. They made Cathay, did they, Eric? I didn't know that. Grabbing some food, watching the dogs. Hey, sounds like a good time, Quentin. All right, so. The time for half measures is over. Let us go ahead and jump into the first match, which is going to be a best of 5 between two clanmates, which we're forced to fight to the brutal end here in this tournament. It's going to be ODM Xiphos versus ODM Newport. So let's go on over to the Flash Tournament battle scorecards, load into this battle, guys, and hopefully have some fun. Should be good. Yeah, Kislev is going to be great. Oh, Bear Cavalry. I know. Falcon, you going to play Kislev? I feel like you're pretty hyped for it, right? You don't normally play the human factions too much, though. Yeah, it'll be neat. All right, guys, so here we are. First match of the day. It's going to be ODM Xiphos facing off against Newport, who is also of Clan ODM, and it's going to be Lizardmen versus Greenskins. Quite curious about this matchup, actually. So here for the build of Xiphos, not much infantry quality in the front line. It's going to be Skink Cohorts with Javelins, of course, against Savage Orc Biggins, things like that. They can actually put some surprising hurt on those guys and do some work. So, yeah, don't mind that one bit. Here in the secondary, we have the Cohort of Sotek. We do also have Legion of Chaqua and the Temple Guard. So pretty elite troops in the secondary line, backed up by Lord Mazdamundi on his big Chungus steed. He does also have a Rev Crystal as well as a Solar Engine. Solar Engines definitely have a fair amount of good targets between Savage Orc Biggins and the Skirmish Cav and all those different tools. I like that one quite a bit. Up in the sky, we got Pterodon Riders, 2 of those bad boys ready to do some rock drops. Rock drops probably one of the best aspects of the Lizardman roster. They can do lethal damage if you get good at it. Hey, Sid6, thanks for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, man, and may Chuck Norris bless your sacred union here in the channel. Yeah, it'll be good. Kislev did have its own army list. It wasn't attached to the Empire. Oh, okay. I always thought it was more of like a supplement. Well, Lich109 in chat clearing that up. So Kislev apparently did have its own army. Was it like a White Dwarf army, or did it have like a full book? I'd be quite curious to hear about that, actually. Yeah. Anyways, up in the sky, Pterodon Riders here for the Greenskins, which are going to be led by Newport. He's got Forest Goblin Spider Riders, an amazing tool. They have anti-air, obviously, so they can fight the Pterodon Riders and skirmish them, and if they have to surround some big monster, they can apply poison. I really do like Spider Riders. I think Spider Rider Archers are probably one of the best units on the old roster here. Savage Orc Biggins, triple. We got some bacon in the back, the Orc Boar Boys, a little bit of Daka via Goblin Archers, and double Spiders. So Goblin Great Shaman plus the Arachnarok Spider. Pretty good stuff for sure. I'm looking at Xiphos' army here. I'm a little bit concerned about stopping power for the two big spiders. That's not to say that you can't just, use Mazda Mundi with a little bit of Temple Guard support and things like that. If he can clear out all these Savage Orc Biggins in the infantry and then just use the spears and the halberds he has here and stand on top of them, he can deal with the spiders. But generally, it's no easy task, that's for sure. So here are the Chameleon Skinks falling back. They definitely want to poke the Savage Orcs to the best of their abilities. We haven't seen rock drops from the Pterodons quite yet. The best rock drop targets would hands down be the Savage Orc Biggins here, and they would do some work. They didn't actually make a Cathay army. They hosted a Kitbash Cathay army. Oh, okay, got it. So it was fan-made. Makes sense. Cohorts, though, doing a ton of damage. This is why they're pretty good against Savage Orcs, but on the other side of the coin, they will get absolutely massacred by the Savage Orcs once the Savage Orcs do get into melee combat, especially on the charge. The Savage Orcs are going to buzzsaw through these Skinks in a pretty expeditious manner. Now, it looks like maybe a rock drop was going to be going down there from Xiphos, but he did not do it. I think he's probably maybe saving it for the blobs. And here, the Rev Crystal just kind of hanging out in the back while Mazda Mundi with Shield of the Old Ones fights the double spider. Certainly a little bit of a tough gambit there. Greenskins do a really nice play by Newport. You can see he made his formation very, very narrow for those Orc Boys to kind of squeeze him through. And now we have Forest Goblins charging into the Legion here. We got Goblins moving in. Very, very nasty collapse here from the Greenskin army. And Itchy Nuisance also active. And the Lizard support really buckling pretty hard. The Chameleons and the Skink cohorts running for the hills. Savage Orcs, as expected, mowed down those Skink cohorts, but took a lot of damage in the process, actually, from the Javelins and probably a little bit of Mazda Mundi magic for sure. Bowie, I'll go ahead and check afterwards. The graphics should be fine. I have them on high right now. Lord Mazda Mundi does get an Apotheosis, but he is in a very tough fight. Obviously, these are two anti-large monsters. Normally, you beat the spiders by breaking their leadership and kind of chasing them off. But in this case, the Greenskins do have overwhelming numbers and support with Savage Orc Biggins and ROR Night Goblins on the ground applying poison. It's looking pretty tough here for the Lizard people. In the backfield, Legion of Jaqua still very surrounded, but they do fend off the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. But here comes a Bacon Charge. The Orc War Boys going to be getting a nice sandwich there. A little Battle of the Bastards action here for the Legion as well as the cohort of Sotek, but they're refusing to die, and do also have some missile resist. Not that it matters too much here. But the big issue here for Xiphos is the fact that Lord Mazda Mundi is a little bit surrounded by the big spiders. Oh my god, the friendly fire! The Bastillodon blasting into the back of Mazda Mundi. Oh, that always happens. That actually looked like it did some damage too. Anyways, Mazda Mundi in the danger zone for sure, and the Bacon is running rampant here on the battlefield as the Orc War Boys slam into the Bastillodon with the Rev Crystal, and the Solar Engine misses once again at point blank, which is pretty hilarious for sure. Up in the sky, Pterodons just kind of sitting, dropping some shots really good. On top of that, the Pterodons could get some big juicy rock drops once the Greenskin Bacon Cab blob up. So Xiphos could, for example, fly in here, do some rock drops on top of the Orc Boys or the Savage Orcs, and really certainly would be prospering there in that situation. So Mazda Mundi, though, is really getting beaten up, man. He's running pretty low, running on fumes here, as Newport continues to punch away here with the Arachnarok Spider and the Goblin Great Shaman. Nice blast coming in there from that Solar Engine. Finally hitting after missing like 100 times. The Bastillodon envies the Stegodons, clearly, says Falcon. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty decisive Greenskin victory here at the 3.5 minute mark here in the game, as the two spiders are really, really working on Mazda. He's pinned in by Bacon Cav, and there's some Temple Guard left and Pterodons, which are now being forced into melee combat against Savage Orc Biggins, which is certainly not a recipe for success. And yeah, Mazda Mundi's going down here. He is going to be paying the troll toll. Now, do the Greenskins have anything to chase him off with? Probably don't want to chase with the spiders, although I guess they could. Mazda Mundi only has 50 speed, and the spiders have, what, 44, 45? I think they're poisoned right now, but their base speed is, I think it's close to 50, give or take. So Pterodons are pulling back, trying to salvage Mazda Mundi here on the low ground. You can see the Spider Riders continuing to drop some fat Daka. And the Goblin Great Shaman in really good shape. I actually just played my best of 5 Swiss League match just right before the stream against Swarv, and we did play this matchup. I played Lizardmen into his Greenskins, and his build was more or less identical to this. It was very, very similar with the double spider, and it seems very strong. So there you have it. Well played. GG. Newport is going to be claiming game 1 as the last of the Unbreakable Goblins are crushed. And there you have it, guys. Yes, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? We're back in business. Sorry we didn't stream the past couple days. I had to get hyped for the Warhammer 3 trailer, do some stuff, and I'm not really a channel that can talk too much about lore and stuff, so I didn't have much to say. I'm sorry. What campaign faction leader would you recommend to start? For me, I would play Karl Franz and play the Empire. It's my favorite campaign. Because he's just like, you get to reunify the empire, then the filthy vampires invade, and you get to go like banish them back to the shadows, right? And like then you get to save your elector counts, which is very thematic. Then once they do that, the Greenskins start attacking you from the south, and you have to like defend your forts and things like that if your dwarven allies lose. And then after that, you have the Chaos Invasion, which it's just like such a fluid campaign, and Franz is like one of my favorite characters, so yeah, I love it. Man, the only game I lost in the best of 5 was with the dragon because of this. Yeah. I've been using Star Dragons with High Elves, actually, Falcon, just with the Haggard Techless Breath Net combo. It works pretty well. Obviously, you already know this. But yeah, this build, the only weakness of Xiphos' build, I think it didn't really have a good answer for spiders outside of the infantry, which you can't really rely on. Yeah, like you could mix in, I don't even know, maybe some sort of a combat monster to fight these big boys. Yeah, because the big spiders just basically dominated Mazda Money the entire fight. And the Savage Orc Biggins might not have gotten the most value, but they did pretty good for themselves. Weston, yes. Well, I play Empire and Tabletop, so it makes sense. So let's update that. That is going to be 1-0 for Newport in this best of 5. Remember, we got best of 5, more games to come. So let's go ahead and load into that next match and have some fun, my friends. You're so close to winning your first campaign, which is ironically Bretonnia. Bretonnia is a really fun one too. I think Empire is quite a bit better. The Bretonnia is like, I don't know, the Confederation system, like the threats that you face is just kind of like Haggard, Norskin, Drifters, and you know, occasionally you have some Greenskins appearing and whatnot. But the Franz campaign is very thematic. But I'm very biased too, you have to remember. I'm very biased indeed. Spears could be okay too, but Spears will get wrecked by Savage Orc Biggins. You need something with like more stopping power. I've seen people use Razordons actually, like double Razordon just to blast the spiders. That can work pretty well. It's a little bit janky, but you know, because they get hunted by Spider Riders pretty hard. But you know, it is what it is. So the next match is going to be Newport on the Lizardmen. So he's going to Lizards, and Xiphos is going to his beloved Wood Elf. So we'll see how this goes. Turn, do you have a recommended faction to start? Multiplayer for newer players? Yeah, if you want to like strong factions, I think Greenskins are a really, really strong one to start with. I think they're really diverse and can do a lot. You can play elite low micro builds. You can play high micro builds. Greenskins are really good. I think that Norsca is fairly simplistic as well. You just got to get mammoths and infantry and march forward. But yeah, Greenskins are really, really good. It depends on your background. If you have like an RTS background and your micro is good, I would recommend Empire because they don't have that many bad matchups. But they're pretty hard for newer players, I would say, because you have to like kind of know how to do everything a little bit. Yeah. Paradox, lost my old job and started a new one. Okay, I was about to say I feel bad you donating after you just lost your job, but you started a new one. That's what I'm talking about, Paradox. Luckily, this one is remote, so I can watch your stream still. Love the content. Hype for 3. Hey, congratulations on getting the new gig, man. And we're here for you. We got you. Yeah, High Elf is the easiest campaign for sure. You literally start like cradled in the arms of the of the campaign map. In my opinion, the High Elf campaigns are very, very easy, but they're fun too. It depends, and you can make them harder depending on how you play, but yeah, the High Elf economy is insane. Tomb Kings are really good for beginners too, because you only have to buy 1 DLC to get everything. So I think they're a very, very good choice as well. So yeah, I should make a video on that. I'll probably do that soon. Now that, you know, there's new interest in the dreaded Warhammer once again. All right, loading back into the game here, guys. And Nermy the Nerm, will we ever see a Haggard Subcommander stream? Yeah, I think at some point it's possible, for sure. So thank you, Paradox and Nermy, for your donations. Really means a lot. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for me. I play factions that I like, with the exception of High Elves. Every faction I play is one that I like really enjoy the lore and the characters. The High Elves are the only exception. But I do play them now. I've been playing them quite a bit with pretty good success. Yeah, they definitely have some nice cheeses and things like that. All right, guys, so if we look here, we have Xiphos on the Wood Elves, and Xiphos, of course, one of the best Wood Elf players out there. So he is down here again, bringing out one of his stronger factions. So it is going to be a whole battle line of Eternal Guard, backed up by Mass Glade Guard Starfire Shafts, backed up by Glade Riders, as well as 1 unit of Blade Singers, which is kind of cool. The battle does devolve into like a pit fight. The Blade Singers can really massacre Saurus and all that sort of good stuff. So that is it. And we got Durthu up in the front as well. And for the Lizard Force, this is like the most meta build possible. Double Solar Engine, mass line of spears, mass Chameleon Skinks. This is like super meta. Basically, the Skinks will poke down the lightly armored infantry, the Solar Engines will kill the archers, and anything that gets through cav or monster-wise, the spears deal with. It's very, very meta, and certainly pretty strong. Do you use an MMO mouse? No, I don't. I just use like a Razer mouse. I don't know, like Razer Adder, I think is what it's called. It's the mouse. My mouse is like 2 or 3 years old now, but it does the trick. Yeah, Vampire Coast isn't as easy as they used to be. That's for sure. You actually have to work pretty hard to play them, in my opinion, nowadays. All right, so the High Elves, or excuse me, the Dark Elves, or Wood Elves, got the Wooden Elves. They're advancing, and it's, you know, sorry guys, I was up pretty late last night, so the brain's still, it's getting going here. So Big Papa Durthu taking some poke and stroke here from the little chameleon skinks, a little bit of damage for sure, and the Solar Engines opting to focus down the Blade Singers. Now this is the biggest mistake that a lot of Lizards make in this matchup, is that they let their Solar Engines get in range of the Archers, which should never happen. 170 range against 240, you should be like offset like back here, because then you can really pound pretty consistently, whereas now the Wood Elves are very happy to just trade with you, right? The Archers are going to be shooting into the Solar Engines, and I've seen this happen in so many games. We had the best-of-5 finals of the ECL where this happened. It just seems like such an easy mistake to avoid here, but right now you can see Newport is paying the Troll Toll, and someone like Xiphos, who of course is the Dark Lord of the Elves, is not going to let this one slide. He's going to go all Thranduil on your ass here, and really unleash some arrow salvos here into that Bastiladon. Bastiladon getting broken already. In the front line, Saurus Spears will probably defeat Eternal Guard in a vacuum, but not with support. Obviously, if the Elves are able to get some Archers or different things like that, or here you can see a little Chameleon Skinks as well. But one Solar Engine's already dead. Here in the backfield, we do have the, oh, look at this, the Foot Scars veteran, Scar veteran getting in there with his anti-large and putting a nice little shank on Durthu, but Durthu does get the overcasted regrowth, and he's trying to butter the bread of the Slann. Many have tried to eat the dreaded blueberry, but he's got a lot of HP. The Slans can take some time, but I guess going after the Slann isn't a bad idea if you have regrowths and a lot of support like that. So one Solar Engine is fully shattered. Xiphos does also have his Glade Riders with spears, and now he's pursuing the Skink Skirmishers here in the backfield quite happily. This Solar Engine might come back and start shooting, but I don't know how impactful it will be. There's probably plenty of Wood Elf Cav that could maybe compromise it, although it looks like the Wood Elves do get pushed off in the Cav department. And now all the Archers, you know, they've pretty much dealt with their respective threats. They're going to be unleashing into the Toad. It does have its base missile resist, of course, for being a Lord here, but the Slann Mage of High Magic is going to be getting blasted pretty hard by the casters here, or the Archers of Xiphos. And Durthu has retreated back to the front line, going to be helping out against these Saurus Spears with shields. Eternal Guard obviously losing that fight, but, you know, with Durthu there, he could make a pretty substantial difference. And it looks like some Chameleon Skinks did run through the little seam here and are attacking the Glade Guard with the Hagbane tips, but the Starfire Shafts will turn, they'll crossfire, they should be able to kind of liberate that situation. Now, Slann Mage is on death's bed. There is one Solar Engine here in the backfield. A couple Chameleon Skinks have kind of salvaged it to an extent. That Slann is really, really trying to get away. -5, it looks like it is going to be breaking, which is pretty rough. Now, you can see the front line is going well for the Lizards, right? The Saurus Spears with shields, they're grinding down the Eternal Guard pretty effectively, right? So just imagine if the Solar Engines had been a little bit more deep set, and they had just been shooting at the Hagbane tips this entire time, and then, you know, the Hagbane tips have to shoot at either a deep set Slann, or they have to shoot the Saurus Spears with shields. Like, you got to give them inefficient targets, right? And now, you know, the Solar Engine does have proper distance. It's ripping some good shots, although it looks like, I think Xiphos has just gotten too far ahead here in this game. He's got his cab back here, and Durthu's just going to manhandle this Saurus Scar veteran now. It's going to be like nobody's business. Yeah, you can see he's shaking, 1800 HP. 2 or 3 more attacks from Durthu should finish the job, and you can see he's at -17, and he is not truly broken. Now he's truly broken. Durthu did get him with the big old Optimus Pine Sword, and the Archer line is slightly tattered in some respects, but we still have Archer, 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 Archer. We got 4 of those bad boys still functioning. Durthu does get blasted once again by the Solar Engine to the backfield. And the Saurus Spear is still going strong, but now they're probably going to get worn down just due to attrition and not having support. And at that point, the Lizard people, Newport, will be withdrawing, knowing that the game is over. GG. Shattered Bastiladon's terrifying cavalry. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. Pretty funny indeed. So if we take a look here, yeah, obviously you saw what happened. The Solar Engines were too close, and that lost them the game. This build is very strong, though. Like, a build like this, High Magic is nice because if you are facing off against, like, Sisters or any sort of flying trolls, or you can Tempest them down. And you still have healing, too. So Hand of Glory can also be used if you want. Xiphos' build is certainly good. But if the Bastiladons were deep set, it could have been a very different game. That was literally just it. That's what cost him. Everything else was, like, more or less fine. Just the Solar Engines getting picked was, like, the sole reason he lost that game. And it's an easy mistake to make. I make it all the time. And he's playing a very good player, too. So sometimes it can be easy to mix things up like that. So we have a couple donations I missed during the game from King Cool 1338. Happy birthday. Thank you. My birthday is, man, my birthday's, that's insane. My birthday's only 5 months away. God damn, time flies. Blade Singers didn't do that well. I don't think they did. Yeah, 700. They killed some skinks. That's about it. Will you grow an epic mustache for the release of Warhammer 3 to celebrate the arrival of Kislev? You know, I might be down for that. I think that could be fun. Yeah, I could roleplay the Kislev general who's like trying to stop the Ice Queen from going out there. Just get the mustache with like the short haircut he has. King Cool, thank you so much. Mike E, thank you for the 38.96. Chaos Gods Cathay, hype for Game 3. Tune into turns Thursday, Swiss League, and finally, physio started for the knee. All right. Yeah, doing some physical therapy, huh, for the old knee. Beaver Bucks to celebrate everything good. The awesome content as always from both turn and the players. Thank you so much, Mikey. And hopefully everything goes well with your knee. I was doing physical therapy for my hand for quite some time. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I felt like my birthday just happened, but, you know, time flies. Iron General says a lot of Lizardmen players lose versus this. I believe it. Iron General, I 100% believe you. This was like the meta build for sure, though. The Solar Engine, Skinks, and Sara Spears. But yeah, like the width can be like, even if the Solar Engines blast these guys, and if you have enough of them, they can still overwhelm. I really like the Durthu pick too. I mean, even if he had deployed further back, he still might have lost. You never know. Nonetheless, though, it was a fun game. All right, so let's load into the next one. Go to the screen holder here. We did. Optimus Prime, time flies. I would wager that Warhammer 3 will probably come out like end of the year. Like November, October, maybe September, December, like in that time range. I don't know. They could do a Christmas release, which would be pretty cool, like in December. Andrew King, think in the Kislev campaign we'll get reinforcements from other races, not unlike Wolfheart's campaign. I really have no idea what their mechanic could be. It would be cool if it was like a Last Stand type campaign where, like, yeah, you're constantly getting like reinforcement armies from like the Empire, the Dwarves, the Bretonnians, things like that. Although, you know, part of it would be cool if Kislev just handled their own business. Yeah, I have no idea. I really have no idea. All right, so down to Goblin Town. Let's go ahead and pull up the next game here, which is going to be Newport on Skaven and Xiphos on Norsca. Now, this used to be a matchup that, of course, was very Norscan favored, but since the DLC, I'd say it's even. I think it's fine. I think either side can win. Just depends on the play. Freddie Knight, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, man. With the lockdown, time is the only thing that's flying right now. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. Freddie, man. It's my mom's brother's name. It's quite a majestic name. Many great people share that name. Thank you, Freddie Knight, for becoming a member. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. What's my favorite hero? Ooh, that's a tough choice. I really like warrior priests, but yeah, I'd have to think about that. All right, guys, let's get this party started. No more messing around. Game 3 here. We got to update the scorecard for Xiphos here. So it's 1-1 right now as we load into the match. So in this match, guys, it's going to be the Norskins facing off against the Rat People. So, of course, we have Xiphos on Norsca facing off against Newport Skaven. And if we look here at the Norscan army, you can see the battle line is going to be Marauders into the Sunset, backed up here by a bunch of Condom Wolves. And yeah, you don't need the armored Condom Wolves against Skaven. You just go with the basic the basic size here. And these guys, anti-large. These were the reason the matchup was bad. They're so good against Molder monsters, ogres, hell pits. They can usually heal through the infantry poke. And yeah, I really do like Skin Wolves quite a bit still. We got Throg the Troll King with the Skin Wolf Werekin. We do also have a Balefiend of Fire for those juicy burning heads, the Bunker Bust of Skaven, and Marauder Horsemen and a Manticore. So yeah, a relatively old school build. I would say it's, you know, pretty straight and narrow here. Throg, of course, can get in there and fight the big Molder Beast for sure. So now for Newport Skaven, his battle line is going to be Clan Rats. Looks like he's got 4 in total. He does also have a Chieftain. The Chieftain on foot. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like this because like a lot of Norscan players are probably banking on the fact that there's going to be a Throt because he's so goddamn good. I still think Throt probably is the best choice, but Chieftain here on foot plus Scroll, I mean, that's cool. They can do totally fine. Both of them can kind of work on Skin Wolves and kill models outright and, you know, do things for the Horned Rat. Now we do also have a Poison Wind Mortar. We have the Mutant Rat Ogre here with the Packmaster. Very interesting. So a basic Mutant Rat Ogre. It's like the first time I've seen one, but they do magic damage, which is very cool. So against Skin Wolves, they can surpass that physical resist and kill models outright. But really the biggest breadwinner for this matchup that really has kind of changed everything is the Wolf Rats. Wolf Rats are excellent at countercharging Skin Wolves, and also they can chase them off the battlefield, which is really, really nasty for sure. So Mortar Fire is going to be going downtown. The Poison Wind Mortar is going to be dropping some hot bows here onto the Marauders. You can see the Condom Wolves getting bombarded as well. Severax, HB turn. HB Turino off to work. Have a good stream, everyone. Hey, man. Enjoy work. Hope it's all good there, and we'll see you in the VOD afterwards. So Marauder Horsemen coming in the poke on the flanks. You got to make sure not to blob up with these guys. If the Poison Wind Mortars start to shoot at the Marauder Horsemen, that can be like devastating damage. I mean, in this case, he's not being punished for it, but typically that can be really, really rough for sure. So Marauder Horsemen, Tokyo drifting around the flanks here, looking for some openings. Probably going after the Pit Fighters, we're not sure. Condom Wolves being used to bunker bust the front line in conjunction with Advanced Core and Throg, so really big commitment here from Norsca. A little bit scary because there are Clan Rat Spears, but thankfully for the Norskins, they do get terrified almost instantly, and now some of the Condom Wolves are pulling back. Oh no, a little bit of a misplay here. This Mutant Rat Ogre, if he gets surrounded by the Condom Wolves, if they actually get a full surround, that thing is 100% going to die. So here you can see the Beasts of Tashnar, all these beasties coming in, but oh, a very, very nice play by the Skaven player here. Newport is able to get Mortar Fire, so though he made a mistake on the Mutant Rat Ogre, he is able to kind of respond by summoning some Clan Rats there to help, and also dropping Mortar Fire. And yeah, look at this. This is Skaven coming in with a huge counterpunch, but a big Burning Head coming in from Norsca as well. Oh, that was a beaut, dude. Look at that. That broke all those Wolf Rats, and those guys are going to be running for the hills. Triple Wolf Rat broken. Oh, God, that's so good. So from here, the Poison Wind Mortar still bombarding, but that Burning Head might have just won the game because now all the Horsemen are going to be chasing off the Wolf Rats. There's no Wolf Rats to chase off the Condom Wolves. And also you can see the Mutant Rat Ogre here got absolutely destroyed by those Condom Wolves. And it's looking like a very, very solid game here for the Norskins as they're just kind of rampaging through the Skaven army at this point. And yeah, look, both Wolf Rats being chased off. Zyphos, of course, a veteran tournament player, knows that he should chase things off. Although he does let that Mutant Rat Ogre come back. A little bit of a slip up there, but I think he's just in such a blood frenzy right now, just tearing through the Skaven army that he's kind of, you know, he's seeing red. So, Famir Bale Fiend of Fire could potentially drop some fireballs too, I think. No, it only has Flaming Sword and the Burning Head. But the Skaven army is pretty much made up of Clan Rats at this point, Mortars, one Rat Ogre. Their quality is certainly a little bit lacking in terms of like the Packmaster and the Mutant Rat Ogre not being around, but they're going to be coming back, so that could change things. Now, it looks like there's going to be another Burning Head coming in from Zyphos, a nice one right there. It does tear through the Clan Rats pretty effectively. Both those guys kind of get busted down. Wolf Rats, I think, are all out of the picture, but now we do have a potential for a comeback here. If the Mutant Rat Ogre and the Packmaster are able to get a Goon, for example, take out the Werekin, break Throg. The Skaven, you know, obviously are a very, very nasty folk, and they can certainly scrap back these type of situations. Mortar's still going, able to hit those Marauders. It looks like the final volley of the Poison Wind Mortars, it's going to be the last one there as the Condom Wolves as well as the Famir Bale Fiend of Fire do jump in there. You know, we have a big, ugly blob fight. You can see that the Feral Manscore is getting low, the Werekin's getting beaten up, and the Skin Wolves here are getting low as well. And this is what I'm talking about, man. It's still a very, very stressful situation, but it looks like in the end, the Rat Ogres are going to break, the Packmaster is going to break, but that was a lot of burst damage the Skaven did deliver on the second win there. But losing the Wolf Rats in that huge, huge engagement probably was the disastrous thing for the Skaven there, and that is going to be game as Norsca claims victory. So, yeah, that Burning Head was a chef's kiss for sure. It was a beauty. Yeah, and very solid play. I mean, that almost looked like watching the matchup before, right? We had 1,200 value here. Throg, only 600. He tried his little troll hard out there, but really it was the caster. Although this one, Skin Wolf, these are the ones that killed the Mutant Rat Ogres. They did really well for themselves. And the Manticore, of course, did good. And I didn't dislike the Skaven army. Like, I honestly thought the Skaven army was fine. I think, obviously, if he had been more careful with the Mutant Rat Ogre and the Wolf Rats, could have been a different game. But in the end, Zyphos really punished the mistakes and was able to claim victory. So now we have a 2-1. If Zyphos does win this next game, he'll be closing out the series. But if Newport wins it, we'll be going to Game 5. So let's go ahead and head on over. Have some fun. Get this next game started. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. How are Gym Kings in multiplayer? They're very good. Gym Kings are like a good, balanced faction. There's nothing like egregious about them. They're good and balanced. That's my 2 cents. That is my 2 cents, my friends. All right, so getting the next game ready, Game 4. It's going to be Newport on Bretonnia. Oh my god. I don't know how this happened, guys, but we got a Bretonian mirror match. Yeah, Contende, I think we're casting some of your games today, too. I can't remember. Will there be some FFAs? At the end, we might do one, yeah. Or I might just do another best of 5 from the Swiss League. I'm not sure. We'll see. Because I played my best of 5 right before this, so my hands are a little bit tired. Oh my god, why do you guys do this to me? Bretonian mirror match. Oh god. Anakin, I'm too weak. Don't make me do this, please. Alright, let's load in. This one's for you guys. What's the worst race for multiplayer? It depends. It's hard to say. You'd have to say, like, what's the worst race? Like, who has the most bad matchups? I don't know. Probably Beastmen. You guys really want this? Well, I don't have a choice. It's not like I can ask the players to do something different. So yeah, for the Bretonian army of Zyphos, Peasant Mobs, Fey Enchantress, Double Paladin, very exciting stuff. We have Pegasus Knights backed up by Questing Knights, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, so it's 4 Questing Knights and 1 Grail Knight on the far side. And it looks like he does have Battle Pilgrims, which is pretty cool. So let's see if we're going to get the Fey Enchantress sausage grind here. Yes, we are. So for Newport, Fey Enchantress, Paladins, Peasant Mobs instead of Battle Pilgrim, Zoe has Men-at-Arms and Archers, because, you know, an Archer plus Men-at-Arms costs more or less the same as a Battle Pilgrim, so opting to get a little bit of range support, which might be the difference, actually. Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, Grail Knights, and Knights of the Lion-Hearted. So he didn't opt to go Questing Knights. Instead, he went with the Grail Knights, and he went with the Archer line with Men-at-Arms as opposed to a Battle Pilgrim line, because Xiphos' army is more infantry-focused. Obviously, both of them have Fey Enchantress, and although it looks like this Fey only has one Paladin, so that could be the Portent of Doom here. We'll see. We will see indeed. Yes. Good, Anakin, good. Contente is like, no. Yeah, no, it's week 5, so it's the previous week. I haven't looked at the replays of your games yet, so we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Dig your holes, lads, dig your holes. So here comes the dreaded Bretonian Legion. They're both squaring off. I think the fact that Newport has Peasant Archers is a massive advantage because he can apply poison to all of the fights, whereas his stuff will not be poisoned. So that is a pretty massive advantage for sure. Need more Winged Hussars. Well, hopefully someday. Nothing's wrong with this matchup. It's just mirror matches in general aren't very fun to cast because it's very hard to tell them apart. They do have different colored banners, but when they get mixed in fighting one another, it's really, really difficult to kind of give you a good analysis of what's happening. And in this fight, it gets a little bit grindy because double Fey Enchantress is like double Mortis Engine. It's just like a blob fight usually. So yeah, that's just my assessment of that. I know only one Paladin. This Fey Enchantress only brought one of the boys here to the battlefield. Peasant Archers teeing off on the Questing Knights, certainly generating some decent value there, applying poison and slowing them down. But it looks like Xiphos is going to be going for a big rock-hard flank overload. So here we have Questing Knights into the sunset, 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. Going to be smashing into some Peasant Mobs, trying to get some freebies right there. Now the Peasants have engaged. The Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis here for Newport, going to be slamming into the front line as well. And we do get a charge of the Knights of the Lion-Hearted, but a little bit risky here for your boy Newport because the Fey Enchantress is here, therefore there is going to be Mortis Engine. Here, oh, that was a really nice play by Xiphos. He used the Pegasus Knights to block the charge of the opponent's Grail Knights, and then his Questing Knights charge in as well. But those Pegasus Knights will take quite a bit of damage, and now the Fey Enchantress and the Paladin is here as well. So we have Xiphos Fey here, and then we have Newport Fey here. And overall, I would say this is a slightly better trade here for Newport because the Fey Enchantress is draining more high-value assets right here. And Xiphos' army is kind of stuck right here. Oh, nice Chalice of Potions. That might actually kind of pull Xiphos ahead a little bit. We'll see. Grail Knights in the front line dominating the Questing Knights, and it looks like the Battle Pilgrims are just kind of grinding in the front. Not really too much going on there, but overall, it's just a very even fight. Not really anyone pulling ahead in a super decisive manner. Newport's Fey Enchantress, though, has done some huge draining as these Grail Knights are getting low, these Questing Knights are buckling, and the Pegasus Knights, if I'm not mistaken, have also broken. Yeah, looks like they're broken off, and they're not a cheap unit. Newport's Grail Knights and Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis and his Paladins seem to be holding a little bit better than Xiphos' forces here, who are kind of stuck on some of those Peasant Mobs and different things like that. Nonetheless, Xiphos does tear into the back line. His Questing Knights do penetrate the front, but they are rapidly intercepted here by the Grail Knights, which do peel off from this engagement, but now more Questing Knights are pushing into the backfield, but the issue being is I think Newport does have really good chase here. His Paladins and his Grail Knights should be able to hunt them down pretty effectively. Now here we do have the Grail Knights still fighting against the Questing Knights. Fey Enchantress and Paladin of Xiphos lending their Mortis as well as his sword to that particular fight. Archers, though, I think really are a big playmaker, though their damage overall isn't going to be super exciting. They're applying poison to the Knights of Xiphos, which is going to affect a multitude of their stats, whereas the Knights of Newport are not poisoned. So that's like the one equalizer, really. Battle Pilgrims, yeah, they're going to eventually beat Men-at-Arms, but it's not like super exciting. It doesn't make that big of a difference because they're just going to die to a Mortis Engine in the late game anyways. It's really about winning the Fey Enchantress fights because she is the deciding factor. I actually recently have been playing with her a little bit. I think Fey Enchantress is hands down one of the top 3 best lords in the entire game from a cost effectiveness standpoint. So here we can see Newport still pulling ahead. His Grail Knights out trading the Questing Knights, and his Fey and double Paladin Goon Squad seems to be able to outduel the squad of Xiphos. Xiphos, of course, only has the 1 Paladin, so the 2 Paladins will be able to dominate him, which then means the Fey Enchantress of Newport is going to be the one draining. She's the one who drains. She's the Walter White here in this situation. And you can see with that, the army losses probably be kicking in soon. Looks like Newport is going to be claiming victory, so the Grail Knights and double Paladin plus Archer combo, going with less infantry quality, seem to be the way to go in this particular mirror match, which certainly makes sense. Looks like a Chalice of Potions coming down from the sky here in the 4th quarter. Trying to drop some bows here on these guys, but it ain't going to happen. And that is going to be army losses. Newport tying up the series with the dreaded mirror match. Very well played. Very well played indeed. And not much to say here. Not much analysis. It was just Faenchantress Grindfest. And yeah, the Archers, Poison, plus the Grail Knights were able to outmuscle the Questing Knights plus the Battle Pilgrims. That's pretty much all there is to say on that matter. All there is to say on that matter. We'll take a look at some value here. But guys, we're 2-2. We're going to game 5, baby. Let's have some fun. Faenchantress 1400. Faenchantress 2100 for Xiphos, which is crazy. For like a caster character, that's so good. You like the Breaking Bad reference? I thought it was good. That show was great. I remember watching that, man. That was so good. Yeah, Grail Knights performed very well. Questing Knights didn't really do very well. I mean, 400, 600, 506. Like, not a single one paid for themselves. Whereas the Grail Knights were, you know, more or less paying for themselves and doing very well. Richard Long. Hey, physical therapist here. I'd be more than happy to offer you free help for your wrists if you like. Thank you for all the content. Hey, Richard. Right on, man. So here's my current state of the hand, Richard. I got surgery on my my right wrist. They removed a cyst above my flexor tendon in my right wrist, and also did a release of my right sheath on the flexor tendon. They also gave me carpal tunnel surgery and the elbow surgery as well. So on the elbow, I had a heavy nerve impingement. So basically, I had like severe nerve impingement in my right wrist and right elbow for like 8 years, and it was like becoming crippling. So they released those. I went to physical therapy. They did like stretching and range of motion, but they couldn't do strengthening yet because my nerves needed more time to decompress basically before I can do like strengthening exercises and things like that. So yeah. But I mean, yeah, if you have any feedback, just shoot me a message in Discord if there's anything, and we can go from there, man. Really appreciate the offer. Yeah, 3 surgeries in one day, of course. I'm still pretty stiff, but it's my right hand's getting better, but my left one's getting worse. So I'm going to have to get surgery on that bad boy soon too, which sucks. But it's life, man. I just got to get it done before Warhammer 3, so I'm good to go. Yeah. I know, I wish there was some cyborg technology or some shit. Come on, Elon Musk, where's that shit at? Give me that cyborg hand. All right, so we got 2-2. Let's go here. Get into game 5, man. Secretly in my 70s. Dude, my hands are like in their 70s. Although I still have the speed and dexterity, it's just like the nerve damage was a problem. The nerve compression. What's up, Ben the Barman? How you doing, man? Yeah, sounds good, Richard. Sounds good. All right. Game 4 is done. The dreaded Bretonian mirror match has passed. Now, guys, we're going to be moving on to the game 5 between Xiphos and Newport. Been a really good series so far. And it's going to be Beastmen versus Dark Elves. Let's see who'll win this. The Beast people. The Minecraft cow is here. Ooh. Optimus Pine, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, we're in a good spot, man. We're in a good spot. I know, it's crazy that so much time has passed. I mean, it's been, you know, what, 7-9 months since my birthday? That's insane how quick time goes, or time flies. Holy shit, this is a close quarters battle here. I better pause this bad boy. If you rush the cybernetics too much, you'll get a quality release like Cyberpunk 77. Yeah, I don't know if I want a Cyberpunk hand. Yeah, we'll see. So this is game 5 between Newport and Xiphos. Xiphos is going to be playing Druki, facing off against the Beastmen. So it should be fun. Let's go ahead and load in, take a look at this battle, guys, and see who will be winning the best of 5 this week. So a very gangster army here from Xiphos. He's got a Death Hag on an altar. He's got a Blood Rack Shrine with the Medusa on it. He's got Marathi, Dread Spears backed up by Blackguard, Witch Elves, and in the backfield it's a bunch of Dark Riders with a single repeater crossbow. Yeah. Wraith, when I learned to have fun, what? Are you guys giving me shit? I don't need this. Happy birthday, thank you, man. You like the terror? Yeah, oh my, the Minecraft cow thing is so funny. And now for the Beastmen, which are going to be led by Newport, currently 2-2, coming off the victory there in that Bretonian mirror match. He does have Gore Herds all into the sunset, backed by Razor Gores, backed by Ungor Raiders. And we do also have a Bray Shaman, a Vile Tide, and Bray Scream, which has been really interesting. Lately, we haven't been seeing as much like summons. We've been seeing more Bray Screams, Vile Tides, Traderkins, all that sort of good stuff, which is quite neat. And I think the Lord is Morker. He's probably mooing somewhere in the center of the formation. Yes, he is. There he is. So let's get this party started, guys. Now, normally, I've always felt like this matchup is a little bit Beastmen favored, so we'll see if Xiphos can do it here. Although that's just my 2 cents. I just feel like Beastmen are very good at overwhelming Dark Elf positions. Especially if they try and fight you like this. If the Dark Elves kite, it can be a little bit of a different situation. But in this case, they're going fisticuffs, man. So we'll see how this works out. So Newport coming in for a surround. He does have the Chaos Warhounds plus the Centaurs flanking the position. And up in the front, the Razorgore herds are intercepted very efficiently here by the Hag squad. Currently, Razorgores are rocking 1 melee attack and 0 melee defense, which is insane. The debuff from the Hag and Marathi and the Bloodrack Shrine really adds up. So wherever these characters go, the debuffs really stack incredibly efficiently. One unit of Razorgores absolutely dismembered there. And the other one is going to be going in to try and stop them, but they're probably going to suffer the same fate. But on that same note, absolute dominance from the Beastmen in the mobile game here. You can see Dark Riders really getting hammered here in the backfield by the Beast people. And yeah, the Gore Herds will eventually cut down the Dread Spears. But, you know, this Death Star for the Dark Elves is going to be very nasty. I'm sure there's going to be some Soul Stealers and all sorts of grossness coming up, which could very well equalize the game. So Centaurs are screaming in there, a little bit of a misplay. I'm not sure why he's sending the Centaurs into this fight here. There's Spears, there's Witch Elves, there's tons of debuffs. I think the best bet for the Beastmen is to just pick apart everything you can. Although maybe he's trying to blob them. It looks like there's some sort of witchcraft going down. It looks like a Soul Stealer there from Xiphos, able to really nuke those guys. And then the Beastmen are rushing in once again. But you can see when they get close, their stats are 6 and 10. So the melee stats here for the Beast people are just absolutely atrocious, as Xiphos' Hag and his Bloodrack Shrine really just continue to grind there. However, the Dread Spears are broken down here. The Blackguard holding pretty well in their respective fights. I think the Beastmen need to try and pick apart the Blackguard before they go in for the final blob fight. Ungor Raiders are probably also the best friend of the Beastmen here. They can shoot in and pepper down the Shrines. The Shrines have 80 armor, which is pretty good, but, you know, Ungor Volume of Fire can bring down big targets. I've seen it kill spiders and a number of other threats pretty efficiently. So Goreherd's now intercepting the Blackguard. Here we have Spawn and Ungors fighting those Blackguard, and honestly, I would say Xiphos is in pretty good shape considering the circumstances. It might look a little bit grim in terms of the bounce of power, but that's normal with Beastmen. There's 2 Morker spawns in the battlefield. Once they wear off, you're going to be seeing a much more accurate picture. Because, yeah, the Beastmen are bumping and grinding here, but everything is just so debuffed. And one big Soul Stealer, which, speak of the devil, is coming in from Wrathy, is going to be just devastating. That's going to hit everything. The Gore Herds, the Hounds, there's probably going to be some mass terror routes right now, as the Bloodrack Shrine does cause terror, as does the Death Hag. So again, I think it's really important for the Beastmen just to deal with the Blackguard and the mobile, these elements, and just maybe tie down the Chariots with like one thing, because in that case, you're kind of giving them the blob fight. Now you can see the balance of power does go back into the favor of the Druki here. And now Marathi going for the kill. Big Mama Marathi. It's Big Mama's house. She's not taking any shit from this Bray Shaman. She's making him take off his shoes here, and she's going for the kill. So that Bray Shaman is now going to be running as Marathi hunts it down. And honestly, it's looking scary for the Beastmen. There's still some very healthy Blackguard running around, which the Hags could, you know, meet up with. Morker is trying to get his Pimp Claws and go over here and drag down the Shrines, which did take a respectable amount of damage in that blob fight, but ultimately that came out to be a pretty Dark Elf favored situation, I would say. Obviously the Blackguard taking very little damage as they annihilate these Ungor Spearmen pretty effectively. Morker could do it though. Like if Morker can get his claws and just consistently rip at that Bloodrack Shrine, the Razorgores get a nice little surround here. Leadership on the Shrine is quite steady. I think steady and confident, yeah, so they're feeling pretty good. You'd be surprised too. Actually, as much as Medusas are a bit of a meme, it's often because of their line of sight, but the Medusa Shrine probably has gotten some good value so far. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, 1,000, really not bad. There's still plenty of battle to be fought, so we'll see how this Shrine performs. But Blackguard kind of being dragged down over here, finally getting a little bit tired. These ones with 65 models seem to be in good shape. And Morker the Shadowgave is hunting down that Bloodrack Shrine pretty effectively. But I do like this play here by Xiphos. Essentially, he's taking out the Raiders. The Raiders are the one thing that can put consistent pressure on his big Shrines here. So killing those, I think, is of the paramount importance here. So here comes Centaurs. Centaurs slam in. They will be charging the old Hag. It looks like they do very little damage. The Hag's 80 armor holds firm in conjunction with the debuffs, able to keep those poor Centaurs in the dumpster in terms of their damage quality. Beastmen finally swarming here like they should be on the Blackguard. These Blackguard here might actually break to the number of chaff. We'll go ahead and see. But Morker is doing the work, man. And now the Beastmen are starting to pull the balance power back with this Bloodrack Shrine getting low. But I have a feeling Marathi may have another Soul Stealer here, which would be very strong. But she's coming in, applying her debuffs. Probably the Bacon Cav will break here. We're at -9 right now. We're at 3. They're just barely stabilizing, but it looks like there is going to be a tear route. And Morker releases a sad mooing sound as he does get knocked over by that Doom Bolt. And it looks like the Bloodrack Shrine is able to get away. Now, a big problem here for the Beastmen is the fact that if this Shrine is able to get away from the archers and kind of stabilize, it does have a lot of ammunition left and could potentially do a lot of damage. And, you know, Hounds and singular units aren't going to be very good against it because they cause terror. So anything that charges them that isn't, like, durable or in big numbers, is probably just going to get karate chopped. Marathi going after the archers. I don't know if she's going to use a Soul Stealer here. Morokur does get blasted by the 2 shrines right there. The Black Guard making their way back to the battlefield. We do have 49 models, 145 kills, and these ones over here fought some pretty insurmountable odds, but appear to still be winning that fight relatively effectively. So the somebody in chat was asking, what does the Bloodrack Shrine do? It debuffs your enemies, it buffs you, and it also has a chariot effect and a giant Medusa on top of it that just blasts things that are nearby, which is pretty damn effective. It's a really close game, although I do think that the bounce power truly should be in the Dark Elves' favor, because Morokur, for some godforsaken reason, counts for a massive amount of the bounce of power. I don't know why it is, but he just does. So I think it's actually a little bit more Dark Elf favored than the game would appear, but Morokur still could go Super Saiyan here. And look at this, the Warhound Shatter, the Bloodrack Shrine causes terror. Certainly it's been very good this game. So yeah, it has 2 debuffs. It has the Aura of Agony, which lowers melee defense and leadership, and it buffs your leadership and melee attack, which is quite strong for sure. Bacon Cab broken there. Morokur the Shadow Cave being swarmed pretty good by Zyphos' Bloodrack Shrine as well as his Death Hag. And here comes the Centaurs charging in to try and get a killing blow. And that would be nice. If they could actually break and or kill that shrine, that would, I think, give the Beastmen a chance to win the game. Because Morokur could potentially outduel Marathi in a straight fight if she had to just like sit and do combat here. Man, but it looks like the Bloodrack Shrine living with 300 HP. The Death Hag itself is at about 1,000 HP, so that bad girl is doing pretty good here. And 1 shrine is down for the count, but now the Dark Elves have really pulled ahead here. I don't know if the Centaurs are going to be able to finish off that Death Hag. They don't have the best AP. That thing, of course, has some pretty good armor. And Morokur is dueling Marathi, and it's a bit of a battle for sure. Marathi, they have about the same amount of health, give or take, but his combat stats are severely lowered, and it looks like his leadership is wavering. Yeah, Black Guard are coming in, the dreaded Black Guard. Malekith's boy's not going to be letting Mama get taken down by that cow, and that is going to be GG, winning a pretty tough matchup against a good player there. Well played. Well played. Zyphos with the dreaded Medusa Shrine build. The debuff build is... This isn't a meme. Even though some people might perceive this as a meme, the Bloodrack Shrine, like, this is a very valid debuffing strategy. Pretty cool. You can see how well the Beastmen, like, dominated, the width of the battle, but then, of course, they couldn't really deal with the narrow elements. Now, I think if... Newport had just focused on the Black Guard and hadn't blobbed up a couple times in the beginning, I think he would have been in a very commanding position, but in the end, it's easy to just charge everything in there and do your thing, so. Yep, Marathi, 3,100 value, making Lady Turin in chat proud. We got 1,500 here on the old hag, and the shrine got 1,500 too, which was very cool. Yeah, the Black Guard held their own as well. Pretty cool. Morokur, his little pimp claw in there, he tried. Poor Bacon. Poor Bacon. GG, well played. GG, well played. And with that, Zyphos is going to be winning the series 3-2. I believe Zyphos is one of 4 people in the Swiss League right now who are undefeated. Because we're about to finish. We're at week 6 right now, so people are finishing their week 6 games. I think Zyphos is still undefeated. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about his week 6 game. He was as of this. Like, after this series, he was 5-0, I think. Yeah. No, this is the very beginning of the stream. You, Blackthorn, you got here just in time. You got here just in time, my friend. I'm going to have a sip of water here while we hang out and get ready for the next match. Adrian, my afternoon's going very well. Hope all is well over in Spain, man. Stay safe. Yeah, Soul Stealer blobs are very nasty for sure. The healing, it's like the 2 strongest effects in the game, right? Healing and big, Mortis Engine AoE damage type stuff. What's up, Falcon? How you doing, man? I see you typing my name there. Professor Pone all up in here. The Dreadlord of the Eagles. I casted your game, Pone. It'll be going up soon, don't worry. Nerf Zyphos, please. Yeah. I think Falcon's undefeated too, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think he's lost. They'll probably have to face in the grand finals for the $150 cash prize. So the winner of this league does get $150 US dollars. There's 7 weeks in total. We're currently playing week 6, so then we have week 7 after that. All right, so let's get the next game going. Let's do it. I got to get a more comfortable streaming setup. All right, sounds good, Falcon. I'll check it out. Yep, very cool. I dig it, Falcon. We will certainly do that, my friend. The league isn't over. No, there's one more week. I don't know. I don't know why it says that. I'm not sure, Legion. Well, we'll find out. I don't think so. I think one of them. I mean, there was 4 undefeated players going into week 6. I think. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's do it. Hey, the Blackthorn. Thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. The Haggard squad has been growing lately, man. We've been getting a lot of new folks joining the Dread Legion. All right, so next up, guys, we have a best of 5 against Umais and Contende. You excited for this one, Contende? I bet you are. I bet there's some more Beastmen in here. Umais, of course, is one of the champions of the Dowie. So let's load in. Let's take a look, man. Blackthorn, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's get this party started and have some fun. Well, it's okay. There's going to be several best of 5, so even if you missed the first one, you're starting one fresh right now. So, yeah, there's 7 weeks in total in the Swiss League. We're playing week 6 right now. There's a couple days left in it, so cracked that algorithm. I certainly didn't. You know, I know there was that big thing about the. So this is. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get this. All right. Hold on. I have to see who's who. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just setting up the replay, so bear with me. Yeah, there was that big thing with the spiffing Brit, right? Like breaking the algorithm. I tried making a couple of community posts, like he had talked about, and honestly, it had 0 effect on my channel, 0 effect, which is I don't really care, totally fine. But yeah, it was interesting because I did see other channels actually getting a substantial amount of exposure from it. Wicked, you're possessed by Nurgle. Be safe, man. Did you see that Legend classified me as Corn? Did he say I was Corn because it's like because I do multiplayer and like Corn is all about fighting and that kind of thing? Johan, that's pretty funny. Who else did he classify as what? He classified like YouTubers as various chaos gods? That's pretty fun. My favorite is Nurgle, though, because I have a Nurgle tabletop army. I have a Death Guard army, and then I also have a patrol detachment of Nurgle demons. And then in fantasy, I play Empire. Yeah. Oh, we'll get Chaos Dwarfs eventually. Yeah. Hey, Spartan, did you see I got your first best of 5 win? Hey, congratulations, man. That's a really exciting feeling for sure. Very, very cool stuff. All right, so updating the scorecards here. We'll be jumping into the game in just a minute. Contende versus Umais. I always like worried about getting his name wrong here. All right. Let's do it to it. Let it load in, and then we'll get going. Wookiee is my little nurgling for sure. Yeah, Nurgle's the biz, for sure. I prefer, yeah, I don't know. I'm not much for playing glass cannon armies, so Nurgle kind of calls to me. Replay for the chat gods. Yes, I'm very excited to get more Warhammer 3 cinematics, yes. All right, guys, let's party. So here we have it. It's going to be Contende leading the forces of the Vampire Counts facing off against Umais and the Empire. So in best of 5, I might change it for next season because currently in our best of 5s, you only get 1 ban. So it's like sometimes it's really hard to play certain factions. But on the other side of the coin, if you do double bans in best of 5s and it goes to game 5, it can get a little bit ridiculous keeping track of everything that you've already banned. So I might have to change it up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure indeed. Contende says this is so haggard. Just fast forward. Oh my god. So this is actually kind of how I like to play it a little bit. I use wagons and pistoliers and a defensive box in the back nowadays. But yeah, it's Outriders into the Sunset, Zentler's Reichsguard, more Pistoliers, Reichsguard Knights, double Demogryph Knight with Balthazar Gelt, who has some nice debuffs for sure. And looks like there's more Pistoliers out here on the far side. Fritz, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? I love it, Contende. Skeleton Spearmen into the Sunset. We do also have Crypt Horrors in the back. There are going to be some zombie nations here. And we do have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord sitting up in the sky, cackling mightily, which is a good choice. Honestly, seems like a good army. Triple Blood Knight really is the very meta way to play this. It looks like we have 2 Blood Knights here with a couple Dire Wolves, and that appears to be it. So, you know, double or triple. It's all in the family. It does the work. Pick 2, ban 1. Ban none. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could do that for sure. I don't know. I'm thinking about changing it. I was barely able to... My favorite Total War Warhammer moment was playing against you during a stream in the first game. I was barely able to get by while you were doing me. Oh, I'm sure you did great, man. Yeah, I'm glad you have a fond memory of that. All right, so the Empire doing a little bit of kiting right here. Obviously, they're going to try and pull the Blood Knights and the Hounds away. Reiksguard Knights are screaming in. The Direwolves appear to be going balls deep. They're committing. These guys want it. And it looks like they don't get any Pistoliers, but they also pull back before they take any catastrophic damage. Blood Dragon Lord's making his way over. I mean, taking this fight might not be bad. Gelt doesn't have Final Transmutation. It looks like he's using a Plague of Rust here, which is a very strange choice considering that the counts are running away. That Plague of Rust is going to be gone by the time any fighting starts. It might have just been a misclick, or he was just kind of like thinking about it and was a little bit indecisive here, so hard to say. Nonetheless, the Empire is definitely at a disadvantage in this matchup, in my opinion. I think really good Vampire Count players will consistently do very well, probably at the ratio of 65-35 or 70-30. But still, it's not to say the Sons of Sigmar cannot win this matchup. It's very possible for them to win. It's just, it's very scrappy, or, you know, your opponent has to make some substantial mistakes. Zombies here getting hammered. Who cares? You know, that's their job. It looks like there's going to be maybe a zombie summon going down from the Blood Dragon Lord. And now the Blood Knights and the Cavalry have pulled back. And a Searing Doom going down from Yimai's. A timing Searing Doom. Very cool. Nice dodge there by Contende, though. He's able to pull back. So where's the Polar Bear costume? Well, we have to wait for Game 3 for such things. For me to dress up like a Hussar and all that sort of fun stuff. Or a Polar Bear, whatever you guys prefer. Polar Bear would be very funny. Like a giant bear costume. All right. So here we have zombies waddling after those units. On the far side, Empire's getting some nice picks. The Vampire Army probably wants to pull itself a little bit tighter together, but this could be the first of a solid pick here for the Vamps. Reiksguard Knights, of course, will dominate Hounds in combat, but with these numbers, it basically is buying time for the Blood Knights to get in position here. So we will see what happens. Felbat's hunting down the Pistoliers on the flank of the map, and oh no, the Necromancer! Stroking his Forbidden Rod has been discovered! Oh my god, that's so funny. The Zentler's Reiksguard, they got the nose of Sigmar. They're able to find the Forbidden Rod Necromancer. Now, that's only like 250 gold. It's really not a big deal, but they still are able to do that. And, you know, there are Reiksguard Knights taking casualties. The Hounds are hot on their heels with Blood Knights chasing. I definitely think the Vampires should get really aggressive here and just keep chasing. Like, those Zentler's Reiksguard are theirs if they want them. The Reiksguard Knights only have 66 speed, very, very slow. And that really is going to be the difference between, like, Kislev Cav. Kislev Cav are much lighter armored. They're probably going to have, like, you know, 75, 80 speed with their Lancers, whereas, like, Empire Lancers and Shock Cavalry are, like, 66. That's going to be the differentiating factor between those units. Bigger charge bonus, bigger shock damage, less armor. You guys get the picture. Ooh, nice zombie summon there. Potentially a little bit... I thought it might be right on top of the Outriders, but it doesn't quite get them. And the Vampires here do pick the Reiksguard Knights, 100%. Just, you got to be a bulldog here. Don't take your teeth out. Just keep hunting. And, you know, make sure to chase those guys off, because against a kite build like this, every little piece that you can catch does count. Breath attack coming in. Looks like the Pistoliers of Yimai's are able to juke that, and the Vampires are very much in pursuit mode here, while Felbats attack Balthazar Gelt up in the sky. Uh-oh, Gelt Daddy, you better be careful, man. Well, it looks like he gets the Felbats, but the Blood Dragon Lord is coming after him. We can do a little bit of fast forwarding, as this battle is very much going to be one of those like long, grindy battles. Blood Knights get a nice engagement here. This is certainly good for the Vampires. Another expensive cavalry unit being completely massacred for very little in return. He found the Necromancer immediately. I know, it feels bad. And yeah, you got the Reiksguard Knights here. Keep chasing them. Don't let them escape. And the Pistoliers, of course, will keep unleashing ammo, but you have to remember, Pistoliers are not going to be the best at killing all these Cryptors and different things like that. Although, you know what? He still has 2 Demogryph Knights over here, plus more Reiksguard, so Blood Knights are taking damage. But again, Vampires have Invocations, so he can stack the 2 Blood Knights up with Invocations on the Blood Dragon Lord and potentially do some good work. So, what's up, Ice Power? How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, the Necromancer is like only a couple hundred gold with his Forbidden Rod. And you basically just, you just sit and chill and, you know, stroke that rod. And that gives you extra wins for your main Vampire Lord, which is a very common tactic. So a couple of Reiksguard Knights have fallen, but for the most part, the Empire Army is in relatively decent shape. So are the Vampires, though. The only thing that's really taken a little damage here. And yeah, good play by Contende. He gets an Invocation, hits all his important assets, and what more could you ask for? So we can do a little bit of fast forwarding here. And the players are now battling and moving. You can see Pistoliers dropping some loose peripheral shots on these units here. And yeah, they're trying to get up and shoot the Blood Knights here. Shooting the Blood Dragon Lord. Pistoliers going, Plague of Rust going down once again. I always feel like Gelt, it's like really ambitious to do this, but most players are just going to know how to avoid it. Like, I feel like just getting a big Final Transmutation for a blob fight on Blood Knights would be better with this style of play, but again, it's hard to say. So, trying to get some Skeleton Spearmen. Royal Outsourced Gryphites do charge in there, and they're able to bunker bust those Skeletons pretty efficiently, while the Blood Knights and the Hounds continue to chase. But, you know, every time the Empire commits with cavalry like this, the vampires could potentially just not let them escape, right? Like, if these hounds turn around now with the Blood Knights and just chase these demis, there's no way they're getting away. So, nice breath attack there. Takes out a couple demi models. Looks like 3 in total. And, of course, Empire cannot resurrect models like the vampires can. Grenade launchers are very good here. Like, a single grenade launcher can clear a massive amount of vampire chaff. So here we have Reiksguard Knights intercepting the dire pack, the most dire of packs, and it looks like there's going to be a Balthazar Gelt bombardment here. Maybe he assumed they were going to be getting chased, but it looks like the Blood Knights are opting to go over here after the Reiksguard Knights. Oh, a very risky land by Gelt. Ooh, man. That could be, like, that could be disastrous. If Gelt just gets stuck there and then the vampires finally get their blob fight. Really nice zombie summon here, too, by Contende. That was beautiful. It blocks the Royal Altdorf Griffites and traps them up. And now Gelt could potentially be getting his bread buttered pretty bad for sure. Although he gets away. He's able to squeak away. Looks like his Reiksguard Knights bought him enough time. Cryptors are must be tired at this point. They're like shambling up the hill their best. But Griffites are being dragged down on all fronts. It looks like Contende is in a pretty dominant position here in this game. As the Empire like really just has Pistoliers. Most of their heavy cavalry have really been taken apart. Do a little bit of fast forwarding, obviously. There's quite a bit of kiting going on here, but I just don't see it happening. The Blood Knights are both pretty healthy, and the Demis have now been committed. Demis are your big hammer in this matchup. And this style of play from Empire can work for sure, but it has to be really, really... I feel like Gelt just isn't doing anything. Like, he's had a couple janky bombardments. His Plague of Rusts have all been misses, more or less. And yeah, it's been a little bit tricky for him. It's tough, though. I really used to think this matchup is very, very difficult. So, counts just keep moving. The inexorable push, waddling around the map, doing their thing. And yeah, Pistoliers just kind of shooting whatever they can. Oh, these are grenade launchers, so there are some grenade launchers. Shooting and attacking and clearing out the chaff and the zombies and some of those different units. But there's no way. Like, what? Nothing here can kill the Blood Dragon Lord, except maybe all the remaining ammunition on the Pistoliers if it was used against the Blood Dragon Lord, maybe. But I just don't see that happening. So, Dire Wolves kind of poking. You can see the Empire's trying to get some picks here. But they're just slowly running out of ammo, just killing mostly chaff units. And, oh my god, did Gelt just land on those Blood Knights? He did. And the Blood Dragon Lord does come back. Hopefully you guys don't mind the fast forwarding, but obviously this game would take some time if we didn't, as you can see. It almost feels like we're on like a big MP crossroads. Searing Doom attempt there on the Skeleton Spearmen. You can see some nice juking going down on the Blood Dragon Lord, and oh my god, Gelt's going in for it! Oh my god, look at this! This is not going to go well, Balthazar. And he Plague of Rust, you know, he tries his best, but this is a bloodline of Aborash or whatever his name is, right? Or is that the guy, the Blood Dragon? Yeah, and that's going to be GG. Well played. So with that, Contende is going to be claiming first blood. That is a super, super ambitious build. Now, normally what you see is 4 Pistoliers, a couple wagons, and then like some artillery maybe in the back to like poke while you kite and stroke and do all that kind of stuff. But in the end, the Reiksguard Knights just got dumpstered. 85, 400 here. Demis didn't get anywhere close to their value. The kiting elements did. Umais did very well with his Outriders for sure. 2,500 gold on this one. Jesus, that's good. 1,100, 1,300. Grenade launchers only got 500 too, but yeah, Contende's build was good. It's a solid build. You can go with one more Blood Knight, Cryptors, interchangeable. It's all solid. So let's go ahead and update the scorecard. Well played. And now we go into the next match in this best of 5. You love it, Contende. You love it. All right, so let's find the next match between these two gentlemen here. Delete that one. We already casted it. Game 2. So this is going to be Umais on Wood Elves facing off against Contende's Empire. Okay, this should be fun. This is a good matchup. Certainly like the build for both players. Should be good. You feel a double Luminarch is the way. Luminarch is so bad. I can't tell you how many games I've lost in a tournament. Like, how many games I've lost with using Luminarchs. Like, I think it's going to be good. On paper, I'm like, okay, this should be good. And then I just lose. Like, it's just... So many. There were Cryptors. There was 2, but they just couldn't keep up with the fighting. He didn't need them, though. The Blood Knights just pretty much carried. All right. Sip some water. Get this party started. Yes. It's really... So Empire often does get forced to kite in that matchup because it's extremely difficult to fight the vampires head-to-head with Empire. You can do it with like great swords like Volkmar, Demogryph blobs, but even still, it's heavily vampire favored because they can just drop zombies on top of your cavalry and then you just get shit on, basically. So Yeah. All right, guys, so here we are. It's going to be Contende on the Sons of Sigmar facing off against Umais and the Hard Wood Elves. It looks like he's going for an Elf Rush. And now for the forces here of the Empire, it's going to be Huntsmen. 2 Huntsmen. You know, honestly, they can do fine. They kind of get out-traded by Glade Guard, but generally against some of the bigger threats like the Wild Riders and those type of things. And, you know, even against infantry, they can do some decent damage. Sigmar Sons, Spearmen on the flanks. We do have a double Flagellant, single handgunner here in the back. I really like this build. It's relatively similar to what I like to use, except I stopped using Hellblaster volley guns because of Arrows of Kurnus just killing them, but it's still very good. If they don't have Arrows of Kurnus, a Hellblaster volley gun can be a hard carry. All right, to the Blazing Sun, it looks like we have 2 of those, an excellent choice. They defeat pretty much all the Wood Elf cavalry. They even have a dead even trade with the Stag Knights, considering they cost 300 less. That's really good, and they have magic resist, so Dryads basically just like can do almost nothing against their armor and their magic resist, which is quite cool. And a Netcaster too, very cool. Now for the forces of Umais, he's coming in with a rush. He's got War Dancers, Wildwood Rangers. He's got some Dryads here. We got Dryka. We do also have quad Glade Guard. No, Penta Glade Guard Starfire Shaft. Although some of them I think are Hagbane tips. And no, 6 in total. Wow, that's a big missile army for sure. Those Hellblaster volley guns are going to be super busy indeed. So the battle's underway. Umais and his dreaded Wood Elf Legion. It's very strange because he's such a Dwarven main. Seeing him not play Dwarves, it's yeah, in the first 2 games, it's really shocking to me for sure. Yeah, no, Contende, the Black Lions are the way. They're way safer because they can't be blasted by Arrow of Kurnus and they can reposition against Wood Elf mobility. You've probably seen the replays on my channel of me using the Black Lions against Wood Elves to pretty good success. They're really, really solid, but if Wood Elf players start catching on, might not be as good. So Pendulum going down from Umais here. Oh, that was a mean one. Holy shit, that did a lot of damage to those Huntsmen. And now I think it's time for the Huntsmen to take their leave and back up as they are being blasted. I think Volkmar the Grim needs to get busy and push out here. It's really important when you're playing Empire versus Wood Elves in this matchup to push up and buffer for your Hellblaster volley gun. Because if you take the fight right here, the Wood Elf archers can then advance up and just annihilate your Hellblaster volley gun in a matter of seconds, and you can pay the Troll Toll for sure. War Dancers here, taking a lot of damage. It looks like they might even break before the front line as the silver bullets are really peppering into those ladies here. Spearmen moving up, and Knights of the Blazing Sun appear to be charging the Dryads, which is a good choice. They're very, very strong against Dryads. Dryads just get melted by fire damage, and they do fire damage. And there you go. The first charge is underway. Knights of the Blazing Sun hammering those ladies, but it looks like Dryka going to be dropping a big, thick summon here in the secondary line, and the Flagellants are going to be pushed in, but suddenly the back line's looking a little bit sparse, right? You have Wildwood Rangers coming in, you have a gun piece here, you have the Hellblaster volley gun, and a fair amount of openings. So here you can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun probably going to be pulling back, and it looks like Umais here is going with some dreaded tactical reserves, the Firebark Elders and some archers sitting idle back there. Or are they waiting for a more convenient time to strike? That is the real question. I, of course, am an expert in tactical reserves. It's my biggest weapon. It's how I win most of my games. I'm like, oh yes, I fooled you by thinking that unit was AFK. So Knights of the Blazing Sun now going to be penetrating into the archer line. The Firebark Elders certainly very good against Knights of the Blazing Sun with their massive fire resist, which is pretty funny. But the backfield looking a little bit dicey here. Huntsmen, though, are getting some really good damage here into the Wildwood Rangers. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun have gotten a nice hammering into this netted down position, breaking the Glade Riders potentially and doing some work. And Volkmar the Grim doing the will of Sigmar, just harassing the archer line, kind of keeping them from advancing up and doing as they please. Oh no, here comes another Pendulum from Dryka. Could be good. Might also hit these handgunners here in the distance, and it looks like it does. It cleaves a couple of those handgunners asunder. But the Flagellants, of course, holding their own, training extremely efficiently with these Wildwood Rangers. But Dryka is making her way. Does she have another summon? If she was able to drop a Malevolent Dryad summon here on the Hellblaster volley gun, that would be very, very strong. Currently, this is a pretty even game. The Wood Elves are pressing the back line, but I think the Empire is really causing a ton of havoc here. And looking at this Wood Elf army, there's not a whole lot that is very good against Volkmar the Grim. Dryka gets flipped upside down, shoved in the locker, put in the trash can. She gets her lunch money stolen. Whatever analogy you want to prefer, that will happen to her against Volkmar the Grim. In the archers, I mean, the archers definitely can pick off the Flagellants and the cavalry and things like that, but Volkmar at the end of the day is going to be a unholy terror that the Wood Elves are going to have to deal with. And Flagellant's doing well, but Dryka able to break the Hellblaster volley gun. That's certainly a step in the right direction. She's getting a little bit low herself if she is surrounded by Knights of the Blazing Sun. And the Malevolent Dryads have been summoned. These ladies will be piling in, I would imagine, maybe trying to save Dryka from this blob of state troops and Flagellants and Fanatics. Volkmar the Grim just rampaging through the archer lines. Might be able to break some of these guys. It's hard to say. Yeah, Marcus Wolfhard is very good against Wood Elves too, but so is Volkmar. I mean, Volkmar is amazing. Volkmar is a little bit vulnerable against Orion, but even still, it can do some work. A nice net there. You can see that the Light Wizard did drop a net on top of Draika and was able to use the Scroll of Blasting, getting some really good damage. And now the Silver Bullets, who have rallied 37 models, are ripping some nice shots into Draika here, and she's getting worked down pretty good like. That's certainly not going to be fun. Oh, is that going to be a Shem's Burning Gaze in the face? Oh, man. Oh, nice one. It looks like it was a partial miss, though. Still did some decent damage. Probably a couple hundred at the very least. Yeah, you're kiting out the Malevolent Drides, which is good. Hellblaster Volley Gun crew has come back. And yeah, Volkmar is just like raid bossing this entire army. He's just rolling around here, and yeah, there's not a whole lot to deal with him in this army, like I said. That's almost why you often see Orion as like a very common pick. He pretty much hard counters Volkmar. Orion can just chase Volkmar around, just give him the business nonstop. Though Draika is good here too. I think Orion is exponentially better, because Orion can duel pretty much all the Empire Lords, including Franz and Boris, and can also beat them all basically in combat. Yeah, Volkmar is definitely one of the best lords in the game. I would say he's in the top 3 with the Fanchantress. He is a lord that can put games on his back and carry and just do it. He's got a ton of great bound abilities. He's got anything that surrounds him gets blasted by Soulfire Bombardment. He heals. He's unbreakable. He is very, very good. But that's not to say Wood Elves can't do it. Orion really, really can handle him quite easily, in my experience. So the Light Wizard showing Draika, who's boss here, just kind of charging in. It looks like he was able to punt Draika and is going for the kill. And like I said, not much in this build that can kill Volkmar. The Wood Elf archers could theoretically, but in this case, they're just constantly running. They can't really get their bearings. They've lost a serious amount of models. And yeah, I think that might be it for the Wood. Draika being chased off by the Wizard over here, by Harry Potter, certainly isn't fun. And what do we have? We have the Wardens of Sithril still going. Knights of the Blazing Sun could certainly hammer into those guys as the Silver Bullets rip some shots. And oh man, the Hellblaster Volley Gun crew is making its way back, which would be very punishing for sure. Will they be able to save Draika? I don't think it matters even if they do. She only has like 100 HP, so it's kind of, you know, it's relatively insignificant there. Knights of the Blazing Sun charging into the Wardens, sacrificing themselves to whatever deity they do believe in. And if we look around here, you can see that the old Spearmen with shields going to be getting blasted, but that's fine. Volkmar the Grim just an absolute scourge here in the backfield, just hunting down these poor Glade Guard with these Starfire Shafts. A couple shots coming in. Firebark Elders just waddling around the map this entire game, not really able to find a home. They've they've been looking for one. 307. 307 in the old damage value department, but they can't really catch anything. I think they do magic damage too, which means they're going to be even worse against Volkmar, who has pretty solid magic resist, because, you know, Sigmar protects and all that sort of good stuff. All that sort of good stuff. So in the backfield, we can do a little bit of fast forwarding as we do get into the later stages of this game. Some of the handgunners being chased off, and these archers are caught by the state troopers, it would appear, at least kiting pretty effectively. But Volkmar is just being Volkmar. He's being an unholy raid boss, and now he's going to be coming over. There's a massive Wood Elf force preparing to engage him. Not massive, but yeah, they are going to be in for a rude awakening as he charges them. They're like, screw this shit, his mustache is too powerful. The dreaded Sigmar wagon. And we even have Flagellants here. Flagellants should be able to not defeat, but at least put a dent in the Wardens of Sithril, which may lead to some army losses. Nice Shem's Burning Gaze going down the pipe there on those Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, and they're broken. And the caster is able to get away from the Wardens as this battle does rage on, and with their Shem's Burning Gaze. But atop a Throne of Skulls, Volkmar awaits. Oh my god. Oh, is this happening? Guys, look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh, the Firebark Elders. It's happening! It's happening! They got us surround! Dude, Volkmar does fire damage, okay? He does fire damage. These things have 70% fire resist, plus 90 armor. Volkmar probably hits them for, like, nothing. Like 20 damage or some shit like that. Let's watch. You know what? I don't want to make this prediction, but I actually think the Wood Elves are going to maybe come back here. Unless they hit army losses. Because in this case, the Firebark Elders are immune to psychology. They have a full surround. Volkmar cannot escape. And they are pounding Volkmar quicker than he is giving it back. A nice little... Ooh, that Soulfire was really good, though. I don't know. Army losses is a thing for sure. Oh my god, this is just the most haggard situation ever. Yeah, Wood Elves just need to avoid army losses, really. Looks like the Wardens of Sithril moving in to go after the Spearmen. Because Volkmar could lose this. Volkmar could 100% lose this. Like, he's taking some damage. Holy shit. Is this really going to be a comeback? Is this going to happen? 4,200 HP. Let's go ahead and watch the HP and see when he actually hits with his horses. Dude, he did like 20 damage right there. Some absurd. Because the armor mitigates a lot of his damage, and so does the fire resist. Holy shit. He literally hits for like nothing. And he can't escape. Like, he can't escape. Like, the tree can have 2 good mass. This is so ridiculous. Holy shit, man. I've never seen anything like this. He might as well fight and just use soul fires, because he is not escaping. Alright, yeah. So, let's just watch this. I'm on fast forward right now. Volkmar cannot escape. The tree... Oh, and he gets the new surround. Yumai's moved and surrounded. This is so funny. Because, like, I 100% thought Volkmar was going to carry this. And I was making fun of the Firebark Elders. I was like, oh, they're not going to do shit this entire game. Oh, he's got an opening. He's got an opening. Volkmar needs to make a mad dash for it. Oh. Oh, God. Look at him. Oh, my God. The Firebark Elders making me eat my words. Oh, man. The Light Wizard's coming, though. The Light Wizard could actually help win this for Volkmar. Maybe. Like, he hits hard enough to put a dent in these guys. Okay. We got some spearmen on the other side, or flagellants chasing, and Wood Elves have a couple archers and spearmen in the distance that are waddling here. Okay, well. I am going to just drink some water while we watch this. He's at his healing cap. Yeah, Volkmar can't heal anymore. Guys, this is happening. Looks like we found their perfect niche. Yes, first they have to catch Volkmar and then surround him with their 34 speed against his 50. This is like, oh my god. He can't get away, dude. The Grand Shield of Faith is active. Give him a little bit of ward save there, but... How's that Bright Wizard doing? The Bright Wizard might be able to win it. Because, like, without the Bright Wizard, I'm pretty sure the Wood Elves would have won the game. Or, excuse me, the Light Wizard. But now that he's here, he's actually putting a lot of damage on these guys. Because he doesn't have any mitigation. Except for the physical resist on the Firebark Elders. Warhammer 3 hype train? Yes, this is it right now. This is the Warhammer 3 hype train. Oh, and Volkmar escapes? Kind of. No, he's turning around. He's like, alright, well, at least I'm not surrounded now. And here you can see that the Light Wizard's going to be turning around, doing his thing. We do have some spearmen, or flagellants, which just finished chasing some dudes off, or I think they might be chasing something off still. It's hard to tell. And, yeah, Volkmar's at about 900 HP. Firebark Elder's getting some damage. Shem's Burning Gaze going downtown into the War Dancers. Ooh, those are Azrai Spears. That's actually really problematic here. Yeah, look at this. Yumai's goes for this round. Oh my god. Yeah, this is insane. Here it comes. Shem's Burning Gaze onto the War Dancers. Oh man, the Light Wizard is breaking. It's at 29. It's wavering. Soulfire Bombardment doing a bunch of damage, but Firebark Elders do have pretty insane leadership. Look at the bounce of power, guys. It's back in the middle. Oh no, and the Azrai Spears, they're going to kill that Light Wizard super quick. Turns around and charge them. But the Azrai Spears going straight for Volkmar. They're like, screw this shit! Kill Volkmar! And the Soulfire Bombardment was just used. Azrai Spears are immune to psychology, so they're not going to be getting broken in that fashion. He's at 111. This game's over. The Firebark Elders did it! The Firebark Elders did it! Oh, God. Oh my god, what a game! Holy shit! Jesus, man. Oh, that looked like such a solid Empire victory, and then the dreaded Shriekin. Oh, God. How did that happen? I mean, we know how it happened, but 3,600 value on the Firebark Elders. They heard us talking shit, and they're like, all right, you gonna talk some shit, Turin? We got this for you then. All right. We got a donation I missed during that game from Panzer Blitz. A flat earther once told me he was going to the edge of the world to prove it was flat. He came around eventually. That's pretty good, man. That's funny. Thank you for your donation. That game was, like, absurd, dude. Holy shit. Volkmar did good. It was a good proper scrap. Well played to both players, man. It was a good one. But in the end, Volkmar's hard counter emerged, and that was that. 1-1 series, guys. Let's go. Dude, I didn't even watch that game before, so I had no idea that was going to happen. My reaction was just as your guys' was. Oh my god, that game was a circus. Contende, thank you for sending that one. I know, that one feels... I would have felt really sad about that too. But don't worry, man. This league is just for practicing and having fun. Granted, there is a prize, but, you know, if you're not undefeated, you're pretty much not going to have a chance at the prize, so... yeah, holy shit, man. That was a game. That was definitely fun. The Elders, it was 3,600 gold value, Jason. Or Mr. Pig. The dreaded tact. Dude, I called it early. The tactical reserves. The tactical reserves came in and won it. They were forgotten about and they came in. 3,600. Yeah. Holy shit. All right, next game is going to be Contende on the Beastmen facing off against Yumais on the High Elves. So this is a matchup that a lot of Beastmen players are pretty happy about. I think they consider it to be pretty good for them. Granted, High Elves are one of those factions that can pull out wins in pretty crazy circumstances. Dude, that game was insane. That was insane. Just the Haggard trees. Dude, just beating on him for like 5 minutes. Oh, God, that was so good. Oh, God, that's so good. I think that deserves a Palpatine cackle. Yeah, there we go. What it is, too.
Do it.
There you go. All right, guys. And here we are. We have the Beastmen versus the High Elves, so it's going to be Contende on the Beast People facing off against the High Elves here of Yumais, which... He's a dwarf player. Where's dwarves at? Yumais, where's the Dwarven King emerging from his hall? This is so strange. Maybe he's practicing his off factions. Who knows? Anyways, a Princess of Fire. He does have a Deathcaster as well. His front battle line is Reavers with a couple Reaver Archers, and then, yeah, mass skirmishing with the Tyrannoc Chariots. So, you guys want another Palpatine off? Okay, there's one more. There's one more for the road. So yeah, usually against Beastmen, against like Norsca, against Chaos, oftentimes High Elves will resolve to a bit of a kiting situation. And you can see this is very much the case, right? He's got a very mobile army with heavy cavalry, going to try and get the Beastmen to overextend and pick things off. And his army is just a couple Rangers in the backfield, which are just kind of chilling and hanging out here. So we will see. For the Beastmen, we do have Ungor Spearmen spawn with Morkur. We do have a Manticore Summoner and a Brave Screamer. Hounds, and pigs. And that is it. That is it. Yeah, Falcon, he could have counterpicked with him, though. Yeah, I guess Dwarves was his one. He banned Dwarves, obviously, Contende did last game. In game 1, yeah. You'd have to counterpick with them, though. So, yeah, I can understand why we're seeing less Dwarves, but... Let us know in chat who you guys rooting for. The dreaded High Elf Kite build or the Beastmen. I feel like it's kind of heresy to root against Beastmen. Oh, that Deathcaster getting a little bit crazy there. Okay, it looks like it pulls back before anything serious happens. It took like one spear poke to the face. And yeah, the Beastmen are going to be chasing, obviously. There's going to be a lot of kiting. What I would probably recommend here for the Beastmen is, like, instead of chasing this direction, to just start moving after the Rangers, because in theory, you could massacre these Rangers, which are not cheap. 6, 12, 18, 24. That's almost 3,000 gold that you could plink off the board, and chasing the High Elf army here is giving them what they want. It's giving them more time to skirmish here. A little bit risky, but, I mean, it might pay off if he's able to get a pick. But yeah, definitely just advancing on that Ranger position is going to be the way. Manticore Summon is used maybe a little bit early, but we'll see what kind of value it can get. I mean, if it can put a little bit of a dent in that Princess here, that could be strong. And it looks like some Silver Helms or Reavers might get trapped here. Hard to say. Yeah, some of them do get caught on the spears, but the Manticore Summon coming out very early. Certainly you want to save that for like the blobbier fights. Although the Manticore caster, I think, is getting popped in the face. So I understand the urgency of wanting to use a summon, you know, just when you're kind of thinking your caster might get sniped. So we can do a little bit of fast forwarding here. As you can see, the Beastmen just, you know, preparing their battle lines to advance. But they're trying to chase the skirmish, which I think is really potentially going to be their downfall. They could wait out the ammunition. It's hard to say. But the Hounds do get in there. And now, we did see this earlier, right? He's finally able to get a catch here. He gets the Reavers, and it looks like more Reavers are being committed, which I think might be a mistake here from Yumais, because now the Beastmen, this is what they want. They're being rewarded for chasing. They will kill these Reavers. They will kill the other Reavers. Although, ooh, huge breath attack. Damn, that was nasty. That hit all that stuff right there. But more Reavers are being committed. So, though he gets really good value from that Dragon breath attack. Oh, all those Rangers are hidden behind the hill. Oh, you couldn't see them. Well, if you couldn't see the Rangers, then that would explain why you didn't move over there. Because, yeah, you couldn't see them. Such is life. Oh, it looks like a Vile Tide going to be going down. Really nice cast right there on the Heralds of the Wind. A direct hit. It doesn't kill any models, but does a lot of HP damage. And, yeah, the High Elf army definitely took some work. But, oh, God. Oh, no. That's so many Warhounds being chased off. Ouch, dude. And now Morkur has blown one of his loads as the spawn summon was used to, they look hidden behind the hill. Yeah, that makes sense, because I was wondering why you wouldn't just advance on those guys, but you couldn't see them. So you probably thought it was like Shadow Warriors or something else. So in this case, completely makes sense. Chaos Spawn going in after the Tyrannoc Chariots. A little bit of a mistake maybe to commit these Chariots to the pigs, because the Razorgores might actually be able to kill models outright. And here the Reavers and other units are running. The Brave Shaman and Beast getting very low, so yeah, I would imagine we'll probably see the second Manticore Summon right here, just to at least get it out on the battlefield before that caster goes. And yeah, it's eating some ammunition. Can't complain about that. That's actually pretty fortunate for the Beastmen. Two of the Chaos Warhounds were able to rally here. You can see 1, 2. The other one will get chased off, but the third one rallies as well. So really pretty good situation considering how catastrophic it was a little bit earlier. So Tyrannok chariots are being caught. Looks like these models are not going to escape. The Baconator's pushing in there and doing some work. And the Breath Attack is going to bathe these pigs and cook some bacon, but it's not going to fry them fully. And you can see those piggies are still going to the bank, and they are able to take out those Tyrannok chariots. Over here we have Hounds. Hounds getting a little bit of a surround here on the chariots, maybe buying some time for the rest of the Beastmen army to come in, but with the Princess landing here, I don't think that's going to go. So now the Rangers are advancing out. The die is cast. The plot thickens. We will see. And yeah, the Tyrannok chariot's still kiting. Ammunition doing not so good. A little bit bare here. It looks like he's pretty low on ammunition across the board, which means he'll have to commit to the fight. And one slip up with the Princess, if she gets surrounded by the pigs or spawn or anything like that, she could certainly go down very, very quickly. And here comes the Manticore Summon. How long do we have? Manticore Summon's got a little bit of time left, actually. He does get in there. Really nice damage against the Princess. She only has 60 armor, so not super tanky against you know, these type of units like Manticores who hit very hard but have low AP. And looks like there's going to be a call of violence. So the Bray Herd continues on, just marching. And one spawn summon is gone. I'm pretty sure we still have the Staff of Ruinous Corruption, which is good. You definitely would want to save that for like the final blob fight. So High Elf ammunition is almost out at this point. Razorgores charging in. A really good trade for the Razorgores. They will be able to really, really take on those Reavers. Dehorse many of them. And the Poison Hounds charging back in, so that was actually a pretty good trade for the Beastmen. So Beastmen have taken a lot of damage. The army is very tattered, but ammunition is very low for the High Elves, and Rangers do get massacred pretty badly here by your boy Chaos Spawn. So we will see how it goes. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like we're committing to the final fight. Like the Reavers are pushing in, Heralds of the Wind, like everybody's just going in balls deep. A spawn summon on top of these guys would actually be very strong if you could catch them at the exact right time, but it's tricky with them pulling back like that. Heralds of the Wind have like 105 speed or something, so they're no joke. So yeah, now the blob fight is here. Ungors have absorbed the first charge there from those Rangers, and one of the Bray Shaman of Beasts very, very low. I would imagine the Princess just sitting up in the sky, cackling, just dropping shots wherever she can. And the other Bray Shaman of the Wild is also getting quite low, but the Rangers have now embroiled in combat. 11 leadership, it looks like that Bray Shaman holding for now. And yeah, it's going to be a fearsome blob fight for sure. I think a little bit High Elf favored simply because the Breath Attacks and the Princess, and she's going to be able to sit here, and also the Rangers are getting a nice surround. Though they are taking a fair amount of damage from the pigs and the spawn, and Call of Violence here is really, really good. So we have the Bray Shaman to be still. Do we have the other Bray Shaman? I think we do. I don't know if it got broken. Ooh, that was a good Bray Scream right there. Able to trigger the passive, of course, of the Lore of the Wild, and also does do some good damage against that light armor. But now we have the Reavers and all these various cab units moving out, going after the very loose Warhounds all around the map. And is there going to be another Breath Attack is the question. The blob fight is here. We get the Spawn Summon, which was really beautiful. That's a great one. Because now they're going to collapse on the back of these Rangers and honestly probably break their leadership. As long as they're given an attack order to move in. Yeah, you can see there. It would appear they're kind of waddling in there now, so they should do some work. Yeah, they're really beating on them Rangers good. And it looks like the Beastmen are kind of holding here. It's hard to say. But there's also Razorgores breaking, and the High Elves have so much mobility in the form of the Reavers that they could potentially just chase down the old Bacon and really give them the 1-2 punch right here. Yeah, Spawn moving in. Looks like, I'm not sure if they got an attack order, but they're still hitting the Rangers, and the Rangers are really taking quite a bit of damage. The Spawn are actually in relatively good shape considering the kiting and the poke and the missile usage. Like, we still have 8 Spawn here, we have 10 right here, we have another 8 right here. There's a shit ton of Spawn. Really no Beastmen infantry, which is probably the biggest issue for them. But the old Rangers, ooh, Vile Tide right there, nice one. Really, really good cast. It's a close game. It's a close game for sure. The Princess should be able to do okay against Morker, especially with the fire damage. And a couple Bacon come back, which is unfortunate for those Reavers, which have been getting used to chase everything off. But they are able to countercharge the Reavers there and do some good damage. So you can see they're paying a bit of a troll toll there. And honestly, the Beastmen blob fight's still going, man. Beastmen love blobs. And their spawn are just bumping and grinding. Chariots getting into sustained combat. Probably not what they want to be doing. But yeah, Rangers do okay against spawn for sure. They have relatively high DPS and good melee attack and can get through the low melee defense of the spawn. But in the end, the spawn also trade very well with them. So it's very much a bloody affair. And Balance of Power is a little bit High Elf favored in this position. Morker the Shadow Gave still going strong, but it looks like the High Elves are starting to route more and more stuff as that Bray Shaman of the Wild looks like it's going to be breaking. It's very close. Yeah, 0 leadership, it's broken. And there are Reavers nearby and plenty of assets with which he can chase things off. And the Rangers are slowly grinding down the spawn. And now that Morker doesn't have his summons here, it's going to be a tough fight to say the least. So we can do a little bit of fast forwarding here because it's very, very grindy. But the High Elves coming in for another Alpha Strike, and I don't think the Spawn and Morker can carry the day here. They're just getting worn down. And that probably will be all she wrote for the Beast people. We will see. Typically, though, High Elves, in my experience, don't have too many options about how to play against Beastmen. You can either kite like this, or you can do like a really weird like box style of play. But generally, I feel like it's you kind of have to do this kind of stuff. And in the end, it looks like Morker the Shadowgave is going to be falling to the dreaded Princess. GG, well played. To both players. Yumai is pulling out the victory there, going up 2-1. So it is the ropes here for Contende. We'll see if he can come back. What's your opinion on Cathay being in Warhammer 3? I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy about it. Hey, Onyage, how you doing, man? Let's, I'll be free to play some games probably tomorrow or over the weekend, if you are. Today, I'm going to be a little bit busy after this. I got some stuff I got to handle IRL. We're trying to move, so we're putting in applications to a bunch of houses and stuff, and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so that is 2-1 right now. Let us go on to the next game. My cursed internet is like, it's like, oh, do I want to work? Oh, wait, you guys probably want to see some value, huh? Okay, sorry, I always forget that. GG. GG. Hey, Turin, make a top 5 generic lord. Yeah, I'm going to do some like fun list videos in the next couple weeks. I'm going to do most powerful lords in the game, like probably top 3. You know what I think won the game for the High Elves was that big breath attack. It like hit the whole Beastman army. It hit 4 hounds. It hit like so much. So much. Yeah, Beastman value pretty level across the board. Spawn did okay too. Yeah, the Princess 2800. Reavers generally do pay for themselves, except the ones that got caught, of course. But yeah, it was fun. GG. Well played. And now, guys, we go to game 4. Will he bring it back, or will this be the end for the Beastman? For the Beastman? We will find out. All right. And there you go. Let's go into game 4 here. Nakai the Chad. Oh, dude, the truest of Chads here, becoming a channel member. Thank you so much. Yeah, Cathay is basically China and Warhammer. I'm excited for them, dude. I'm excited. I think, I'm sure China, with its long history, has some really cool mythology that they can incorporate. So I'm excited. Trevor Shepard, you can become a member here on the channel, just like Nakai the Chad just did by just clicking the thing right below chat. Or you can go to my Patreon as well, which is listed in the description of the video. Whatever you prefer, man, but don't feel any pressure. Just enjoy the videos, man. Enjoy the videos. Mike C, I think you're awesome. Just wanted to highlight that. Hey, man, appreciate that. My hair is getting real long again, guys, and you know what that means. That means there could be another mullet coming. A real mullet. What if I did a Kislev mullet? I'll get like a big mustache with a mullet when the game launches. Oh, dude, that sounds so sweet. Leviathan, where would you rank Tomb Kings in multiplayer? I think they're an A-tier faction. I don't think they're S-tier. Like, I think they're like A-tier. Yeah, they're really good. If you could have any monster from Warhammer as a pet, what would it be? Like a monster? Or are we talking? Because there's regular animals too. Probably a Demogryph. Yeah, for sure a Demogryph. I know they're pretty vicious and like the knights have to tame them, but if I could just have a tame Demogryph, like, and ride that thing around. They're so cool because unlike horses, they're like really agile side to side and they can climb up cliffs and like mountainsides. That's what's really rad about Demogryphs and lore. So I would definitely like a Demogryph knight would be, or a Pegasus. Like a Pegasus being able to fly, like come on, how can you beat that? So a Pegasus, a Demogryph, you know, things like that would be cool. Are you staying in SoCal? Yeah, I am. We're moving to most likely Ventura County. Because I grew up in that area, and Anna and I want to live near the beach before we leave California, potentially. We want to live there for a few years, or if we love it, you know, stay there longer. But, yeah. We will see. Sorry, guys. Just getting this last game loaded up here. Got to make sure I get the right one. Yes, Roundish Whale. That sounds like fun. The Cult of Ulrich version of Demis or giant wolves. Yeah, it's cool. I always thought Demogryph Knights were really badass. They're probably one of my favorite tabletop models too. So yeah, we'll see. You'll take a Star Dragon? Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, if we're being absurd, yeah, let's just ride around on a Dread Saurian. I'll take a Dread Saurian and I'll just march around the city, you know? I'm thinking of like a practical thing, because if you had a Star Dragon like in a city or a residential area, I feel like that wouldn't fly. But like having a Demogryph, you probably could get away with it because it's like a horse kind of. Someone in chat's like, I want a Skaven slave. Just a little Skaven slaver. Oh my god. Jesus, man. Let me know if you need a realtor in the area. I can make sure you get a good one. So we've been trying. We're not looking to buy a house. We're trying to rent a home in Ventura County, and it's been hard because every time a house gets posted, like there's immediately 30 applicants, and it's like our household income is pretty good. It's decent, but like compared to like some other people and families, and like it's probably, you know, it's been tough, but we're still working on it. Oh no, I definitely do not want a plague monk. Kolek, yeah. Debigan. Oh, a squig, yeah. Oh, a squig would be cool too. They're scary though. I don't know. I'd be worried about not being able to keep a squig under control. Sure, Ice Power. Is it from the Swiss League? If it is, I'll definitely cast them. All right, so I'll take a look after this match here. Let's load in. All right, guys. The match is upon us. We have a glorious, glorious Skaven matchup. So it's going to be Contende on Skaven facing off against Lizardmen of Yumais. And let's go ahead and take a look at the armies. Should be fun. So for the Skaven, it's going to be Skaven Slaves into the Sunset. Secondary line backed up by Skaven Slave Slingers. We got Warplock Jezzails, Warp Lightning Cannon, Clan Ruts, Hellpit, Abomination Ogres. Yeah, pretty well-rounded build. He's got Throat and Packmaster combo, which pretty much shuts down lizard monsters pretty effectively. And yeah, a lot of anti-large. That's my only concern with this army, looking at it, just on a kind of a topical situation, is that there is a ton of anti-monster, but not much anti-infantry. Like, I don't see what here is going to be good at killing Saurus and Skinks and all that sort of good stuff. So we will see. You might want to work with a realtor since they get news in advance. Yeah, you know, I probably will. Yeah, and feel free to message me on Discord if you have information about realtors in that area I could work with that could help us, because I would be very, very interested. Wookiee is a Nurgling. No, he is a Nurgling. And for the Lizard army, it's very wide, which again raises some concerns about the Skaven force not having enough anti-infantry. There's no Globadiers. I don't see any mortars. And there is a lot of good targets for the aforementioned units. So we have Chameleon Skinks. We have Saurus Warriors into the Sunset. We have a Skink Priest of Heavens. And looks like he's got Windblast. Yeah, Windblast very good against like Council Guard and things like that. Oh, look at this. It's tic-tac-toe, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Falcon in chat squealing with excitement as tic-tac-toe takes to the skies, being blasted by Jezzails and Skaven Slave Slingers. He'll come in. He'll get his pound of flesh before this battle is over. Tic-tac-toe is no joke. He is no joke indeed. So there you can see Throt the Unclean and the boys going for a little bit of harass on the Skinks, but they're cool. They took it like champs, and tic-tac-toe is basically just juking those shots while the Pack Rats and those other dudes fall back to the main formation. Okay, I was actually wrong. Contende does have some mortars here. I did not see those, but he does have mortars, which is a very, very good choice. So suddenly, I think the battle is much more winnable for this game. If all you really need is like one mortar here. But on that same note, if that one mortar does get shut down by something or other, then the Lizard army will certainly rejoice. So mortar's still going, blasting Skinks, and the Jezzails shooting up at the Dreadlord Tic-Tac-Toe, who's already at half health from a couple of volleys of those Jezzails. But the Lizards are pushing through pretty aggressively. These Skinks able to break through those summons, and now the Plague Priest is pretty much the last bastion of support here, as those little Lizard guys are bum rushing the old artillery position to the back. It looks like the Plague Priest going to be dropping a Plague Monk summon, which is good. They should be able to buzzsaw through the Skinks pretty easily. And the Mortar's doing great work. I think switching the Mortars onto the Temple Guard here certainly would be very, very strong. Temple Guard are the choicest of targets probably in the entire Lizardmen army. But now we got Saurus Warriors moving in here. Rat Ogres being pulled from the deep reserve to intercept these Saurus. Not much of a choice there. Those guys will get to your back line and butter your bread if you're not careful. But the Mortars, I think, still shooting at the Chameleons that are running, which is a big mistake. If they were shooting at the Temple Guard and the Saurus here in the front, that could potentially be a game-winning situation, as it would accrue a massive amount of value. So I would definitely switch that target. Tic-Tac-Toe, though, getting blasted. But the cool part about Tic-Tac-Toe is he only costs like 900 gold or something. It's absurdly cheap. So basically, he's just a tool for letting you get a super wide army, right? He costs almost nothing. Throughout the Unclean, dropping a Rat Ogre summon behind the Plague Monk summon. Probably going to be rear charging into those Temple Guard here. And you can see Throt and the Packmaster just going fisticuffs with some Saurus, which, you know, honestly isn't going too great for them. They're actually taking a surprising amount of damage. So Warp Lightning Cannon's still online, and it does get a direct hit on Tic-Tac-Toe. So Tic-Tac-Toe has done absolutely nothing this entire game, except serve as a magnet for firepower, and another shot probably will lead to him running off the map. We will see. But the width of the Lizardmen army is really the story of success here, as the Saurus Warriors and all the Skinks and all these little annoying units are really pressing in, and you can see the Packmaster is like broken simply by fighting Saurus. Temple Guard now are pressing into Throt, and if those mortars aren't able to clean up those Temple Guard, I don't think anything in this army for the Skaven will be able to do so. How's it going, Spartacus? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope your speculation stream went well. Welcome, welcome. Warp Lightning Cannon still blasting away, and you can see that the Poison Wind mortars are now being compromised, which certainly spells a bit of doom here for the old rat people. However, the Dreadlord Tic-Tac-Toe is back in business, baby. And he's going to be coming in, probably getting some value. We'll see. Oh, 20 leadership he's holding now. Balance of power is slightly Skaven favored, but I think that's a little bit deceptive based on the armies. Hellpit Abomination grinding with a bunch of Saurus here. Warp Lightning Cannon and mortars are about to be shut down, and it looks like the Jezzails probably should be hunted as well. I don't know, it's hard to say. But it looks like the poor little Skink Chief on the ground is getting chased. Yeah, that boy's running for the hills. Yeah, there he goes. Adorable little guy. Yeah, there you go, sweet prince. Poor little Skink Chief. He deserved a better fate than this. Now, looking around the battlefield, Bounce of Power is equalizing as the Rat Ogre summons do start to dissipate and disappear. And also, of course, the Skaven summons are running on fumes here as these Plague Monks have about 15 seconds to live. And Tic-Tac-Toe is watching from atop his throne of skulls, looking for the most elusive of prey. Honestly, maybe just getting Tic-Tac-Toe and coming in for an attack here on one of these Molder monsters before he dies to some other shit might be good, but it's hard to say. Hard to say. Skaven Slaves breaking, Skink Chief still alive. Saurus have a full surround here and do have the Harmonic Convergence from the Allure of Heavens, which means they're rocking 53 melee attack. That is some serious damage. And you can see Throt the Unclean is actually taking a righteous beating. He's being beaten down by the Saurus, and also the Chameleon Skinks are getting a ton of damage as well. So, oh, Tic-Tac-Toe lurks. Where's the dreaded rock drop going to be? Are we going to get it? That is the true question here, my friend. So Tic-Tac-Toe swooping across, looking for his prey. He's eyeing those rats hungrily from the skies. The rats are trying to goon out the Skink Chief, but the Skink Chief is a foot character, so it's not going to be super easy. They often get knocked over. It kind of changed with the mass changes, but not so much with like little skink characters. They still have really pitiful mass, and yeah, you can see Throt the Unclean getting remoldered, but he is certainly not happy about this. So Tic-Tac-Toe is kind of taking more of a position of command. He's opting not to get engaged in melee. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to fly over, give orders to the skinks. I don't need to get my hands dirty. Maybe I'll drop a rock on this rat as he goes. And it looks like a wind blast going down there on the Skaven Slaves. And yeah, Pterodons honestly could probably just chase off Throt. Or at least the Packmaster. Yeah, Packmaster's actually not broken yet, so. But it's looking pretty lizard favored at this point. There's just so many lizards. I mean, getting cheap Tac-Toe is going to make for a very wide army. He costs almost nothing, so. I don't know if he dropped his rock, but yeah, he needs to make sure to chase off your boy Throt here. And the Packmaster is broken now as well, so Skaven just lost like both of their powerhouse players, and you can see the bounce power is like, oh boy, we don't like that. So back across the battlefield, we have Temple Guard against the Hellpit Abomination. This unit of Temple Guard should be able to handedly defeat the Hellpit Abomination. You can see the Plague Priest is coming back. We have a couple chaff units supporting, but Temple Guard could probably defeat all of this, to be honest. They'll be quite happy. Yeah, there's a ton of Saurus. There's Skinks. Tic-Tac-Toe is somehow still alive. I mean, we can do a little bit of fast forwarding as they kind of bump and grind here. And Tic-Tac, oh, he dropped his rock! He dropped his rock on some Skaven Slaves, sending a message as the Temple Guard grind through the day. And that is going to be a victory. Delegation is a very important leadership skill, Hadries. I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree. And there you have it. The Battle of Battles, the fate of Middle-earth decided by Tic-Tac-Toe, who got 14 value that game. He dropped one rock on the Skaven Slave Slingers and got 14 gold value. Glorious, glorious. But again, Tic-Tac isn't what wins you this matchup, or at least with the style of play, it's the width, right? Because he only had one mortar to kill all this. There's not a lot of anti-infantry. Like a Plague Furnace would have been really good here. That might have actually won the game for Contende if he had a Plague Furnace. There you have it, guys. The dreaded Umai's winning the series 3-1. It was certainly a very close series. Contende almost went up 2-0 in the beginning, but Volkmar the Grim falling to the trees certainly had an impact on things. But Contende played a super good set of games. Umai's did as well. Definitely a Plague Furnace there would have been really, really good. Like, that would have just dealt with all the infantry. The Skink is actually, yeah, he's a Chameleon Skink character. Okay, fair play. So let's look at other values. Throt and Packmaster struggled to find good targets because there really weren't any good targets for them. There was no monsters. There was no big threats. Jezzail's 700. Mortars probably did the best of everything because, there was a lot of good targets for them. And the Warp Lightning Cannon wasn't super efficient either. But The Temple Guard here, yeah, 1,300 on that bad boy. Saurus, a couple of them over 1,000, which is Bread City for sure. His throne of 5 skulls, 5 Skaven slave skulls, yes. All right, so let us go back to the intro graphic. Prepare. All right, hang tight. Let me see what other replays I have here. Don't worry, Contende. Send me one of your victories. I'll happily cast it. You're playing some very, very tough competition and doing very well. And you could have won that series, right? You could have gone up to a quick 2-0. There we go. No, that's not it. Hey, Trevor, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for joining the Patreon channel. Yeah, Tic-Tac-Toe was a Dreadlord, man. Any plans to stream a campaign? Yeah, you know, I need to get back to a campaign. Part of me wants to do another Empire campaign with Volkmar the Grim and do like a Flagellant campaign, but like a legendary Volkmar the Grim campaign that is only allowed to use Volkmar or Warrior Priest or Archlectors. I don't know, I thought about that. So like no Franz, no Gelt, like just Archlectors and Volkmar. I don't know. But I do want to do another campaign. Dude, that Firebar game was pretty ludicrous for sure. So we have a donation from Alexander during the game. He says, Skaven, yes, yes, I did see the Horned Rat standing behind all those other Chaos Gods in the trailer. Our Grace here is waiting for his arrival. Yeah, thankful, man. I hope we get him. Alexander, thank you for the donation. Do you think Warhammer 3 will finally see a multiplayer boom to be more competitive? Yeah, I do. I think Warhammer 3 is going to greatly improve the multiplayer community. I do. I do indeed. And Lundgren, for the Warhammer 3 machine, thank you so much for the 15, man. Appreciate that donation. And yeah, man, Warhammer 3. It cometh, Palpatine cackles in excitement at its approach. All right, so let me see what other replays I have here. Should be an interesting set of games. We have a clanmate duel between Tank and Crabling. Yes. So Ice Power Total War, I did see your replays. So next time I do a Swiss League stream, which I'm not sure when that'll be, probably Monday or Tuesday, I will do your games against Anticity, because I'm sure they were very good. Hey, take care, Contende. It was a pleasure having you here, man. Thanks for the games. I could do a Mel Gibson campaign too, yeah, like Orion. But I just played a Wood Elf campaign, so I'm kind of like, you know, wanting something different. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it to a poll. I'll put it to a poll. We'll see. Remember to like, guys. We got to get turned on the front page when Warhammer 3. Thank you, Lundgren. Appreciate that, man. Well, I'm pretty niche. You know, I focus mostly on multiplayer, so it's hard to, you know, hard to get out there as much. But we try, man. We try. So this is going to be Tank versus Crabling. Should be fun. Both very high-level players. I think going into this week, they were both undefeated too. So this should be pretty interesting. Yeah, I gotta do some more campaigns. I feel bad about that. Because I know there's some people who are subscribed to the channel for campaigns, and it's been a while. All right. So, let me go ahead and see who's who. So we have Crabling versus Tank. We have the VM duel. The clanmates go into battle against one another. Do a Jared Leto campaign. Oh, God. Wood Elf campaign, Zoat spam. Yeah. It would be interesting to do a Wood Elf Orion campaign with no ranged unit. So that's like a challenge campaign, because I feel like it'd be too easy to win a campaign with Wood Elves. Like, they're just so strong. But you could do like an Orion challenge campaign where you are not allowed to use ranged units at all. So, with the exception of maybe like a hero or something, just, you know. And then you have to use like the cavalry and the infantry and like really mix it up. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Android Poetry, I agree, but not everyone agrees for sure. Not everyone agrees. But I do agree with you. All right, guys, let's load into this bad boy. Let's do it to it. And have some fun, guys. So we have here, I believe it's going to be Crabling on the Tomb Kings facing off against Tank. And the Jawa. Scott Walker, good old Nakai campaign for some Crocs blob beatdowns. Oh, God. Nakai's campaign is so haggard. Oh, my God. Yeah, a Tic-Tac-Toe campaign could be in the books, too. I might be down for that. There will be one eventually. I owe it to you guys. But basically here for the Dawi army, we got Blasting Charges in the front. Dwarf Warriors, Double Thunder, Double Master Engineer. Check this shit out. Master Engineers are so cool. And they have the Fiery Ring of Thori, which is like Walmart Scabscraith. And we do also have Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. In the backfield, we have double cannons backed up by Dwarf Warriors and Dragonback Slayers. And that appears to pretty much be it. So let's have some fun, guys. This is it. This is the Jawi army of Tank facing off against his clanmate Krablin. Krablin coming in with the dreaded double casket. So he's got Casket, Scorpion, Necrotect, Ushapti Rush with a bunch of Skeleton. Now, he's hiding behind this house here, which is really funny. I don't know if it'll actually provide cover here, but if it is, I feel really bad for the Dwarves. That would be quite unfortunate for sure. All right, guys, it's time. Let's waste no more. Let's get down to business. The Caskets, they'll be able to shoot over this for sure, but the Dwarves, oh my god, I think the Dwarves actually have to advance. I don't think the cannons can see those Caskets. Oh, that is such a meme. Oh my god, look at that little house right there. The most OP house in the history of Total War Warhammer. So the cannons don't appear to be shooting. You can see every time he gives an order, they're like moving up, trying to get in line of sight here. Yeah, and it looks like one unit of Dwarf Warriors is like advancing up. So we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding since there's clearly going to be some posturing here. What's in the box, Precious? Okay, so the cannons can now shoot. You can see that Kotep is like trying to juke, and look at this. He's using the Petra's incantation of Righteous Smiting to get reload skill and missile damage. Pretty funny stuff. Yeah, the Dwarves are like trying to advance up to get line of sight. Oh my god, this one house. You know what's really crazy about this too? Because the fact that Krabling brought the double casket against Dwarves knows that he knew this map and he knew this was here and he did his research. Which is, you know, a compliment, right? Like that's a big part of tournament play, knowing maps and knowing what can work. But this is like such a ridiculous circumstance here. So you can see that the casket's still blasting in pretty well. Dwarves are being forced to advance, but you know, the cannons are both online. They're shooting. So cannons are now going to start accruing value. And at the end of the day, despite the house, the caskets are still getting hit by cannon shots. The cannon shots are like kind of hitting the edge of the house, but some of them do connect. So it's not a terrible trade for the Jawi. And honestly, the Dwarves are not in bad shape in any stretch of the imagination. Can the house get a grudge? I'm sure that 100 years from now, a Dwarven army will march from their mountain holds up in the misty mountains of old here, and they'll light fire to this house, and the grudge will be there for sure. Thunder's shooting at the Ushapti, certainly a good choice. Master Engineer picking them off as well, and you can see a ton of damage going down on those Ushapti as the caskets do rain fire into the Dwarven infantry. Giant Slayer is being sent to fight Skeleton Spearmen. Might be a little bit of a misplay there, it's hard to say, but Dragonback Slayer is also pulling up, and the Ushapti here getting crumped pretty good. Blasting charges with some massive damage as well into those Tomb Guard. Now, I would probably grab the cannons if I were the Jawi player and just start shooting the Ushapti. Those caskets, I don't think you're going to get them. They're pretty well hidden behind that house. And then another casket shot going down into the Dragonback Slayers. And yeah, man, the Slayers taking quite a beating. But they are in sustained combat, helping out against Ushapti, which certainly feels good. And a Fiery Ring of Thori going down. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, that was real good. Burnt down those Skeleton Spearmen. Oh my god, the caskets hurt so bad against those Slayers, though. Brutal, brutal stuff. So the White Dwarfen Company grinding down the Tomb Guard in the front line. Thunder's getting some beautiful volleys here into the old Ushapti, who are at 12 of 12 models, but the Troll Toll is starting to take a little bit. And now the cannons here for tank have wisely been switched onto the Necrotect, which is a much better target. He's an open field, it's very attainable, and Grombrindle is now moving his way across to do battle perhaps with the Tomb Scorpion and or the Ushapti here. So on this side, pretty dominant engagement for the Dwarves. You can see here Longbeard's able to hold them back and the Slayers are in reserve, although maybe not as dominant as I thought. Those caskets really doing a heavy number on things. And the cannons ripping another volley here. Brutal cannon shots on the Necrotect, taking him down to Pound Town. And you can see the Necrotect deciding to attack the Master Engineer and taking him for an Uber ride. But the thing is, the Master Engineer will probably get up. He'll either beat him in melee or he'll shoot him with the long rifle. He's got the old spanner out. And the Necrotect does go down. Master Engineer's back in business. And now the Tomb Scorpion's coming for that booty and should be able to do some good damage for sure. So Balance of Power definitely looking Dwarf favored. They have killed the Necrotect. The cannons are both still functional. Caskets are running out of ammo. And Grombrindle's got a rock hard on here for this Tomb Scorpion. And he's coming for blood, man. We also have Giant Slayers and Thunders are still more or less shooting at this point. Yeah, really, really nice blasting charges there. You can see the Skeleton Spearmen kind of getting worn down. Casket Fire, raining some hot fire still on the Dwarf Warriors, but that's not much value. Not going to do a whole lot for you. And this poor Master Engineer is trying his best to survive. He does have good AP in melee. If he can hold until the White Dwarf gets there, he might be in okay shape. Because then him and the Gromby could go over here and deal with the caskets, which would be really, really nasty. So it looks like the Master Engineer is terrified and might stabilize in terms of leadership. He's just wavering. But the Dawi cannons are just pounding, and the Tomb King's front line is evaporating to dust, man. You can see the Ushabti here are really paying a pretty serious price. These are actual Ushabti. I'm surprised we haven't seen an Ushabti summon back on one of the cannons, too. Yeah, Gromby flash bombs this bad boy, and he's getting in there with the Rune Axe of Grimnir. That is no mere axe. It is a mighty Rune Axe, and yeah, the Tomb Scorpion also taking some big cannon fire. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gromby give up on the Scorpion here and just go chase the caskets. Get rid of the caster, take out the artillery. That might not be a bad idea at all. So the Ushabti summon was used, but very good play here by Tank. He's able to grab his cannon crew and start running, which is smart. It's going to minimize the damage that the Ushabti do because time is a ticket, and they are going to start degenerating, so might as well delay that for as long as possible. So balance of power, though, still very Dawi favored. The Master Engineers have been doing great work. They've been giving good, solid AP punch against the Ushabti rushes. Cannons have been firing this whole game and still have ample ammunition. And now the caskets are being herded like some hen here around the old house. One of them has a nice little concave, but Gromby's he's coming for blood, dude. Well, there's no blood in these things, so he's coming for vengeance, or he's coming for a grudge. Whatever analogy you'd like to use, he's coming for it, man. And the cannon crew is taken out by the Ushabti summon. Looks like they're going to be fully taken out here. And here comes Grombrindle. He's finally going to make it, but that is going to be army losses for the Tomb Kings, as the White Dwarf collapses in and claims victory for the folks of Karaz-Karak. The Karazhan Corps celebrate. You know, I actually thought the Dwarves might be in some trouble after the dreaded house camp, but in the end, Tank did a very good job, staying calm and pushing up. And yeah, the caskets probably didn't pay for themselves. We'll see. Yeah, that's actually not true. 1,600, and Kotzep got 1,300. So they both did good. What didn't do good though was the frickin' Ushabti. 1,000, 400. 400, yeah. This is what lost him the game, was the Ushabti. Probably Tomb Guard aren't too good here either. Like, I would cut the Ushabti and Tomb Guard, get skeletons, get another Tomb Scorpion, and get like some mobile units, like Nakar Horsemen, to like punish the gun lines and like the cannons. Yeah. That was pretty funny. All right, so in that, Tank is going to be going up 1-0 in this best of 5 against his clanmate here. As far as the Dwarven value goes, Grombrindle did okay. Master Engineers didn't get as much damage as I thought. One of them had about 700, but the guns did fine. Cannons both did really good, 1,000 and 1,600. And that is that. That is that. GG. Well played. So let us load into the next game. Thank you guys for joining today. It's been a fun stream so far. The Warhammer 3 hype train rides into the sunset. Give it to us, precious. All right, let's do it. They build houses well in that area. Apparently so. Apparently so. So game 2. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. It's funny, I can't see the factions they're playing because it's in Russian. It's in Cyrillic, so I can't see it until I load the game. So this one is going to be Crabling on the Empire facing off against Tank on Norsca. Ooh, this looks like a really fun build here from Crabling too. I love it. Tank's build, of course. He's got his condom wolves and all that sort of good stuff. We're still loading in now, guys, so don't worry. Hey, Turin, thoughts on Chaos Dwarves and Ogre Kingdoms not being a starting race? I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that, yeah. I mean, I'm happy we get 6 starting. My favorite thing, though, is that it would appear that we're getting mono factions for each of the Chaos Gods. So Khorne will have one, Nurgle, Slaanesh. Like, that brings me a lot of joy. Like, I was really worried they'd all be, like, mixed into one, and it would be, like, really weird and janky. I like that there's going to be distinct flavors. So if they are indeed fleshed out and well done, and then we also get 2 more, 6 starting factions, I'm very happy with that. I would rather have Kislev than either Chaos Dwarves or Ogre Kingdoms. I would probably rather have Chaos Dwarves than Cathay at first. I would have liked to have seen Cathay as like a DLC thing, but I'm fine with that too. Like, I'm excited for Cathay. So yeah, Kislev is what I'm most excited for, hands down. Black Phillip, that's funny, dude. All right, let's load in. Tank is up 1-0 against his clanmate. Now we have an awesome build here. It is. Onyage is here in chat. The man, the myth, the legend. He's going to be getting back into the game, which is really exciting. Should be fun. We'll play some games this week, my friend. Sorry, I've been pretty busy. A lot of stuff going on with the Warhammer 3 launch. So, double Outrider Grenade Launcher, a Spearman Battle Line, backed up by Huntsman, double Knight of the Blazing Sun. But the biggest, most exciting thing about this is that there is a dreaded Templehof Luminarch. So this is a very off-meta build. So he's got a Luminarch, he's got a Shem's Burning Gaze character, and he has Balthazar Gelt. This is like an all-in sniping build. Basically, you overcast Final Transmutation, you blast them with Luminarch and Shem's Burning Gaze and the Blasting Scroll, And in theory, you just like one-shot something. Now, for tank, he's got Norscan Ice Wolves with Condom Wolves. Oftentimes, you do see armored Condom Wolves here because they trade a little bit better with Knights of the Blazing Sun, but nonetheless, these work fine. We have Berserkers, Marauders, Hounds, all that sort of good stuff. And we got Wulfric. Of course, Wulfric is very much a staple here. And a Shaman Sorcerer Metal as well. Another final transmutation. Ben the Barman, hello. How you doing, man? I see you. I see you've said hello a couple times here. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well. So here comes the big blast there. You can see the Luminarch there, able to hit that Mammoth. But the Mammoths have crazy HP, so that actually probably did over 1,000 damage. But just because the Mammoth is such a thick boy, it doesn't do too much. But huge play here by Crabbling. He does get a net. He nets down the Norscan Ice Wolves. He charges with Knights of the Blazing Sun. Gelt is going to be nuking. Oh, God. Oh, no. Not like this, tank. Not like this. And you can see that or Crabbling? Wait, Crabbling is... I think I might have gotten them backwards. I think the replay was sent from a couple of perspectives, so I might need to change the names, but it's okay. Knights of the Blazing Sun hammering into these units here, and you can see that the Norscan Ice Wolves are on the run. That was a really, really good fight for the Empire because they were able to bait in the Skin Wolves and then get a big final transmutation. And the Luminarch going to be ripping another shot into the big Mammoth, it looks like. Is it obstructed? Is it going to fire? There it goes, and oh! Wulfric gets the double shot, the 1-2 punch. And man, oh man, this looks like it's going to be a relatively quick Empire victory at this rate. With Wulfric being almost dead, losing 2 Condom Wolves and the Norscan Ice Wolves, which are no cheap expenses there, and the Templeoff Luminarch still going like a champ, that is going to be very, very tough. Plus, grenade launchers are like a hard counter against light armor, so grenade launchers against Berserkers, Marauders, all that sort of good stuff is pretty devastating for sure. So Gelt probably saving up Winds of Magic. He does have the Staff of Alans and the Arcane Conduit, so I would imagine saving up the bank for another big nuke here, because Norsca still has some threats on the board. Berserkers, of course, are pretty strong, and the Empire, though, really does have a solid mobile advantage. Here comes another shot. Here comes the Luminarch again! It's going deep, baby, and it nails Wulfric. Oh, huge damage. He's at -29. Wulfric is paying the ultimate troll toll, and with that, he is going to be breaking, and even the Haggard Balthazar. Oh, and the Scroll of Blasting! Or Shem's Burning Gaze! Wulfric is down! He's down for the count, 177. Oh man, that is so absurd. So Knights of the Blazing Sun getting a great charge into the Skin Wolves, a huge fire damage charge, and another Lumi shot going right down the pipe, blasting the Condom Wolves and also breaking their leadership. Wulfric has fallen, and now the Haggard Wizard Goon Squad. Gelt and the Light Wizard are trying to take out that Shaman Sorcerer, which is hilarious, but it looks like the Sons of Sigmar are going to be holding this game extremely firm, and yeah, man, what a freaking build there. Holy shit, the Luminarch with Gelt, and that is just a strange build, the 420. My Luminarch's always missed. This one has been very accurate this game. It's like nailed every shot. Granted, Mammoths are very easy to hit, but at this point, I simply don't think that the Norskins have much of a chance here in this particular game, and they are going to be breaking and a-running for the hills. So GG, well played. The Empire takes apart the Norscan Horde. I mean, there's a couple of Hounds and different things left. There's no way they can win at this point. Not with the grenade launchers running rampant. It's over. That was an insane one. Oh, man. GG, well played. All right. No, I had the names in the right place. So let's update the scoreboard here. Let's do that. So Gelt got 1,100. That Luminarch got 2,000, which is great. Grenade launchers got 1,000 apiece. Knights of the Blazing Sun performed well, as did the Huntsman. This is a risky build. This is like a very risky build. Yeah, but he did it, man. He did it. The Luminarch heard me talking shit. The Firebark Elders in the earlier game heard me talking shit. And you see where that gets us. Yeah, man. Good games. Really, really fun match to watch, for sure. I mean, that army is a pretty big boy there. that was nasty. Yeah, well played, man. Well played to both players. Tank tried. Not much he could do there, though. Okay, you know what? Tank could have not committed the Skin Wolves to that blob fight. That would have given him a lot more flank pressure with which to collapse on the on everything, right? Like, I think that first engagement really cost him the game and opened up the Luminarch play. If he hadn't made that misplay and lost his 2 Hounds and 2 Skin Wolves, I think he could have surrounded the army and pincered the Luminarch and probably would have been okay in retrospect. All right, next match. Let's load it up. That was a really cool build, though. Luminarchs are a huge gamble, though, guys. I can assure you, they are a huge gamble. All right, game 3 between the two clanmates. They're 1-1. Now we have Crabbling on the Greenskins facing off against Tank's Vampire Count, so it should be fun. So Tank, of course, a Vampire Count specialist. Crabbling, a very, very good Greenskin player as well. So this should be quite a bit of fun to see. This should be quite a bit of fun to see. Yeah, we did have a Dowie victory earlier. Yes, the Dwarfs played earlier and had a pretty good run. Had a pretty good run. Angela, yes, to say the least, I think your assessment is correct. All right. So next up, we have game 3. It's going to be Crabbling. Oh, the biggin! Oh, yeah! I'm so glad I picked this series to cast. I did not even look at the games. Onyage is going to call it a night. Have a good one, Turin. Loving the streams, and I'll talk to you later. Looking forward to playing some games with you, man, and reforging the sword that was lost. Should be fun. Illuminarch a day keeps Wolfric at bay. I know. They're so cool. All right, guys. So if we take a look here at the Greenskin army, we have Crimson Killers, Savage Orc Biggins, Savage Orc Biggins on the flanks, a couple archers, Nasty Skulkers, Skarsnik for Rampage. Big Chungus is here. Oh, God. We have a Rogue Idol. I'm so happy about this. We have a Night Goblin Shaman and an Orc Shaman. Crabbling is really spoiling us, dude. He brought Illuminarch for you guys in one game, and now he's brought Debiggin. Dude, this is a man after our own hearts. So for Tanks Vampires, it's going to be Skeletons, Zombies into the Sunset. We have Cairn Wraiths, Blood Knights, a big scary Blood Dragon Lord, and Double Vargulf. I mean, it's pretty, more or less has some of the standard elements against Greenskins here. It's a good army. I mean, the Double Vargulfs can easily beat that Biggin in combat. Oh, God, guys, it's happening. It's happening. Some more shots going to be coming in from Debiggin here. Wonder what he's going to throw at. I think his rocks do not do magic damage. So probably any Graveguard or Blood Knights. Yeah, I think he's going after the Cairn Race, which he's not going to hit. So let us know, guys. Do you have any predictions? Do you think that the dreaded Greenskins will claim victory this day? Or do you think that we're going to be seeing the vampire counts get in there and get down and dirty? Nice Vindictive Glare coming in from Crabbling, able to nuke that Blood Dragon Lord. Here comes another Boulder Shot. Oh, almost a direct hit. It does kill one Cairn Wraith, which is nice. He does have the Arwar Black Orcs, yes, and he does also have the Rogue Idol. So the Rogue Idol is here to stay. He's here to party. And the Rogue Idol is really good at killing infantry, too. Like, skeleton hordes, zombies, like, it has huge splash damage, so a very wild army. Okay, a couple Blood Knights do go down. He picks off 2 Blood Knights there. Another Vindictive Glare does force an Invocation of Nehek here from the forces of the Vampires and Tank. He's able to get that Blood Dragon Lord a little bit topped off, and now the main rumble will start in the jungle. The Thrilla in Manila. It is upon us. Rogue Idol, this is the correct target, though. I think going after the Blood Knights, every model you pick off is a pretty big value for sure, especially considering he's forcing Invocations of Nehek onto the Blood Dragon Lord, which means there's going to be less for the Blood Knights. Yeah, the first wave of Skeletons moving in a little bit early, I would say, because they're just going in unsupported, and they're basically just going to be a free 300 gold for these Savage Orc Biggins, who will massacre them probably in about 20 seconds. So yeah, check it out, man. Brutal damage going in on those Blood Knights. The Big Chungus, dude. Everyone laughed at him until it was too late. So far, Big Chungus has accrued 548 value, which is pretty good. Mostly against those Blood Knights. And yeah, I think the skeleton engagements here for Tank have been a little bit sloppy. Because basically the Savage Orcs have just gotten 600 gold for free. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Vampires really need to get in here and get down and dirty. Another Vindictive Glare going down on the Blood Dragon Lord. And now the Blood Knight's going to be hammering into the Savage Orcs, which can do huge damage, mind you. I don't know if there's any Skulkers nearby. I don't think so. A big charge there. And now I think the Cairn Race need to charge in and like rear charge them, break their leadership, all that sort of good stuff. Blood Knights do pull back, though, which is good. And the Savage Orcs just buzzsawing through the Skeleton Warriors like it's nobody's business, while the Crimson Killers try and chop through some of these zombies. Cairn Race have moved in, but a really, really good Fist of Gork going down here on the Savage Orc Biggins, giving them magic damage. And oh man, with the magic damage and the 72 melee attack, these Cairn Race are being sent to the Age of Sigmar. Brutal damage coming in. Negative 31. Those guys are just getting evaporated by the Savage Orcs. Now Wa is active, and honestly, Greenskins are in a really, really commanding position. On top of that, he is able to get that Vargulf crumbling. Skarsnik has it here. He gets it with a smoke bomb, and oh my god, just being dismantled by this Greenskin army. That Vargulf is popped in the face. And now we have the Rogue Idol standing there staring down the Blood Dragon Lord up in the sky, while Nasty Skulkers get in there to get a big breath attack, or excuse me, a big smoke bomb here on the Vargulf. Ooh, the Blood Dragon Lord got rampaged. It's coming on the ground here. Oh, King Kong and Godzilla, it's time. Well, Mecha Godzilla, I'm not sure. The Rogue Idol definitely going to try and clap some cheeks here, and actually quite literally clapping. He misses his first attack, but Skarsnik is back here applying poison. Could slow down the Blood Dragon Lord, but it looks like he's going to get away, dropping a zombie summon to cover his retreat there. And the Rogue Idol still doing the work of Gork and or Mork, or whichever one you kind of believe in here. And the Cairn Race are dead. Savage Orcs getting a nice charge here on the Blood Knights. Looks like the Blood Knights dropped for a bit of a second, but they are re-microed there at the last moment, which is good. We have Crimson Killas, another Vindictive Glare going down from Crabbling onto the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. And I don't know if anything can stop this Rogue Idol. Look at it, dude. It's just gorilla pounding these things. I mean, yeah, the Blood Dragon Lord and Vargulf can, and so can the Blood Knights, but that's assuming there's no other support for the Greenskins. And there still is an unholy legion of the Crimson Killas here. We got 58 models. We got Savage Orc Biggins, which will kill this entire blob by themselves. But a nice pick here by Tank. This is a way to start getting back in the game. Kill the casters, get rid of the glares and the magic support. Little Goblin here is pretty fresh fish. Should be able to chase him off the battlefield, no problem. And the Orc Shaman should also die here. So this is good, and you can see it kind of pulls the balance of power back for Tank a little bit. It's kind of creeping back towards the middle. Blood Knights are being used pretty effectively just to hammer down the retreating elements. The Archers specifically should be chased off here. And the Vargulf still punting that Orc Shaman. In the Biggin, going to be using his ranged prowess, pretty cool. Oh, and he nails the Black Orcs. Oh, man. The Biggin, of course, the Greenskin gods are fickle. Decides to punish the Crimson Killas for something or other. I have no idea. Discombobulate. Yeah, are you doing a Sherlock Holmes reference there, Kevin? I love that, dude. That's funny. Yeah, poor Crimson Killas there getting the biz. These Savage Orcs, though, man, doing so much work. And now you can see the Blood Dragon Lord getting in there, but danger close, dude. He better watch. He better pray, baby. Gonna be getting a giant power fist, but it looks like it misses, which is pretty fortunate for him. And Spited a Bad Moon active, giving anti-large to the Rogue Idol, but despite that, it still misses the Blood Dragon Lord, and the Archers are being chased on by the Blood Knights in the distance. Tank scrapping very well. For having lost his Vargulf in a relatively rough misplay in the early game, he's doing a very good job. Nice boulder coming in from the Rogue Idol, hitting the side of this formation, but it looks like the Savage Orcs here might finally be buckled with the Blood Dragon charge. Also, we do have some Blood Knights coming back here. They could easily charge into this flank here and really hammer those guys down. Corpse Cart Zombies, though, holding surprisingly well. Greenskins just trying to reform ranks. They still have a ton of Archers and Infantry, and Crimson Killas are going to be a righteous problem to try and get rid of here. Winning with a Biggin, yeah, you should get an achievement in multiplayer. Well, it would have to be in tournaments, because if you just win with Biggin on ladder, it's very doable. But like in a tournament like this against a very strong opponent, yeah, that would be worthy of an achievement. So Crimson Killas moving, man. These guys are so cool. 117 models killed, but only 371 value, because again, it's mostly zombies. Vindictive Glare once again blasting that poor Blood Dragon Lord, and a really nice smoke bomb as well. Means that some of these goblins may actually drag down some of the Blood Knights, which is what a shameful way to go. You're like some ancient warrior, you know, just trained in martial mastery and just being prison shanked by a little goblin with a giant dagger. That's a way to go, all right. Really good smoke bomb though. Crimson Killas moving in to crump the last of these troops here, and the Necromancer here is most certainly stroking his Forbidden Rod, and he's about to be crumped by the boys. Orc Shaman going in for the kill here. Nice little zombie summoned by Tank on the retreat. You can see the Rogue Idol attempting to pick off some of the Blood Knights. Skarsnik's still in good shape, but this Necromancer probably going to die here. Savage Orc Biggin's very good against light armor, and he only has 15 armor. He's at negative leadership. He's probably going to be crumbling here, and he's trying to run, stroking his Forbidden Rod violently as he tries to run from those units. But yeah, Bounce Bar is actually pulling back a little bit, which is surprising. And it's the reason that's the case is because the Rogue Idol's running lower on ammo, and ammunition on such an expensive unit is really going to ebb and flow and affect the balance of power pretty heavily. But I would have to say Tank is doing an excellent job. He's maintaining his composure, and somehow that Necromancer was able to get away. But negative 50 leadership probably means that bad boy will be going down. Yushay, Armoni, look up the rent on that house. If you send me a link in Discord, sure, man. No problem. Savage Orc Biggins here getting crumped. Tank very much going for any loose prey on the battlefield, but now the Greenskins are going to be reforming ranks. You can see here we do have the Blood Dragon Lord and the Blood Knights on the periphery. And both players basically preparing for the final fight. A little bit of healing going down via Invocation to Heck, but the Rogue Idol, you can't kite this. The Rogue Idol is pulling ammunition off itself and throwing giant boulders here at the Blood Knights, which is freaking hilarious. A nice little summon going down, but the Blood Knights do take a pretty big hit, and now it looks like the final battle for the fate of the old world is here. The ammo's a lie, it is. Oh, another blob of Blood Knights just punished there by the Rogue Idol, which, let's look at the value on this bad boy. Oh, 1800, all right. That's no joke. That's no joke, man. Skarsnik probably has a rampage left too. I would imagine he has one. Oh, there it is. Speak of the devil. So he rampages the Blood Knights, Savage Orcs, and the infantry charging in. Rogue Idol going to be throwing a boulder. Oh, the slam jam, the space jam. The Blood Knights get broken. Oh, they're not. Oh, not quite literally because they can't break. They're undead, but They take a huge rock to the face, and now their leadership is indeed negative. Crimson Killers still moving around. Blood Knights are going down. That Vargulf certainly in a little bit of trouble. Blood Dragon Lord really does not want to land here. Blood Knights can't find too many good engagements with Crimson Killers lurking nearby. Spotted a bad moon active, and these Blood Knights are down for the count. Fully gone. This Vargulf is breaking and running as well. What a great scrap by both players, though. I really actually thought this game was going to be Greenskin. Greenskins were going to win early, but Tank's been doing a good job finding picks and trying to get back in this game here. Oh, the Rogue Idol, the atomic slap. He crushes a couple Blood Knights on the retreat. Now they are crumbling at negative 35 leadership. Looks like a zombie summon is going to be going down from Tank as well to buy some time for him to reorganize himself. I don't know if he has breath attacks here, but it looks like he's going for the kill on Skarsnik. Skarsnik could be in a little bit of trouble here. Blood Dragon Lords hit like absolute trucks, and Skarsnik takes the 1-2 from the Gorilla and from the Blood Dragon Lord. And that could really be a way for the Undead to get back in this game. Blood Dragon Lord pulling back up in the sky while the Vargulf still tries to Gorilla punch him, but every time he comes in, he's paying a bit of a price as the Rogue Idol is able to potentially get him. Not quite. Blood Knights here only have 4 models left. Looks like they're going to be charging in, trying to do some damage before those bad boys just crumble into oblivion here. But Skarsnik moving in, going after the big Vargulf. I honestly don't know if the Blood Dragon could kill the Rogue Idol with the Vargulf here. I really feel like Rogue Idol should crumble like Undead. Like, I don't like that they break. Oh, dude, that Vindictive Glare is so clutch. That did a bunch of damage to that Blood Dragon Lord. Probably easily 500 to 700 damage. Brutal stuff. And the Orc Shaman does overextend a little bit. Tank, of course, and most Vampire Count players are like piranhas. As soon as some blood in the water is there, they'll find the loose parts of your army and pick it off. And they are able to get that Orc Shaman. Orc Shaman probably down for the count, but a huge boulder into the back of the Blood Dragon Lord. Looks like Crabling is still pulling ammunition from that Blood Dragon Lord, which is insane. What if the Rogue Idol picked up Skarsnik and threw him? Oh, dude, a Rampage going down, but is there going to be follow-up? Rogue Idol, I think, is going to throw a boulder. No, he's coming. He's coming for it. He does body slam some zombies, but it looks like the Rampage isn't going to be that punishing, although there are some Savage Orc Biggins, but they just break. Crimson Killers do have anti-large right now, though, because of the Spider to Bad Moon. So they could potentially kill this Blood Dragon Lord. Oh, and the boulder in the face! Brutal damage! What are you looking for, Don? Yeah, I have him right here. Here you go, Don. Alright. And it looks like the Rogue Idol is able to win the game. Sorry about that, guys. The commentary dropped off there, but had to get the car keys to Lady Turn. There they go! The Rogue Idol victory! Dude, the huge rock to the back was glorious. Glorious indeed. And that is GG. What a game. What an absolute slobber knocker, as they say. This battle's been really fun. Dude, the Rogue Idol. Did he pay for himself? 3,100 value, dudes. It paid for itself. 3,100 on the Rogue Idol. It finally paid for itself. Dude, that is so exciting. If you hadn't picked that Vargulf earlier, that could have been a very tough game. 3,100. Yeah, Savage Orcs got like 2,000. Pretty insane. Crimson Killers got 1,000, and they're still good. It was a good match. Blood Knights kind of got shut down. At least one of them did. But yeah, the Gorilla, this poor Gorilla only got 150. Dude, the Rogue Idol. It did it. GG, well played. Crabling goes up 2-1 against his clanmate here. The Russian duel. Now let us go ahead and load into the next one. Dude, 3,000 value on that thing. And it was still going strong, dude. It had more to give. Nate, that's funny. The Rogue Idol should be the first pick in the 2021 NBA draft for sure. All right, so game 4. Tank is on the ropes, man. Crabling with a couple crazy games here, pulling out the wins. But we'll see if he can close out the series or if the dreaded Tank will pull it back. Yeah. Falcon, you don't need to... you don't need to crush its dreams, all right? It just did well for once, and you're just here shitting on it already. Come on, man. Just talk about how awesome the Rogue Idol was there. All right. So let's go ahead and pause this and get ready. So this is going to be another matchup, which we did see earlier, which was the Lizardmen versus Wood Elves. And Tank is going to be on the Wood Elves again. Well, he wasn't on them earlier, but he's going to be on Wood Elves. And Crabling will be on the Lizard People. So let's do it. Let's do it to it. So yeah, we saw this matchup earlier. You guys remember? I mean, for anyone who's been here for most of the stream, it's the same build. The Lizardmen have Sara Spears, Skin Cohorts, Chameleons, High Mage Slann, double Solar Engine. This is just exactly what we saw earlier, more or less, right? And for the forces here of the Tank, He's got Dryads. Yeah, it's a very similar build too to what we saw Xiphos use, except he brought Dryka, whereas Xiphos brought Durthu. So it's going to be a Dryad rush backed up by some Swift Shiver Shards, a ton of Gladeguard Starfire Shafts, Eternal Guard, and Dryad. So a super wide build. And I don't remember this being the map I gave. Was this the map I gave the players for Game 5? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hey, Colin Tully, appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. So the battle is now underway. Solar Engine shooting. Let us see if Crabbling makes the same mistake as we saw earlier and lets his Solar Engines get in range of the archers. Again, I think he should advance his battle line and or pull back the Solar Engines a little bit to the water. They'll be driven into the ocean like the the movie 300. So Solar Engines shooting in, getting a nice little shot, taking out a couple of the Swift Shiver Shards. So let us know in chat who you guys rooting for. Is it going to be the Lizards or the Wooden Elves? The Elves that are made of wood or the Elves that appreciate wood? One or the other. Getting a little bit concerned here for Crabbling. The fact that his Solar Engines are kind of sitting and chilling and those archers are getting danger close. You saw how quickly they die, and Solar Engines are not maneuverable at all. They waddle. They're very, very slow. A couple Dryads, though, in the tree line getting punished by Skink Cohort fire, but the Dryads should be able to make some decent damage here on the Skink Cohorts once they get into combat. But now the Saurus are moving in, and are the Solar Engines being pulled back? It looks like they're still ripping shots going after the archers, and, you know, they are doing damage, right? But if the archers get in range and can concave fire them, it's going to be a little bit of trouble. Now, here on the far side, really nice play here by the Lizardmen, by Crabbling. He's able to get all of his little skinks and start poking down the archers, so this mitigates a couple archers here. Tank with some tactical reserves, mistakenly leaving his archers in kind of an idle position, and it looks like a banishment's going to be going down as well. Oh god, that's going to hurt. Oh, the banishment! Such money! Tears through both the Eternal Guard as well as the Glade Guard with the Hagbane tip. So that's quite a beaut right there. On top of that, Saurus Spears with shields moving up. They got some Chameleon support here and also some Chameleons hiding in the trees. So though he didn't position his Bastiladons maybe far enough back, he still is doing okay because of the other efforts here on the map. You can see here, this is like brutal value. The War Dancers are just getting massacred by Chameleon Skinks. That's like, those ladies do not like the poison darts. On top of that, these archers aren't in range of the Bastiladons, and there's also Skink Cohorts for Crabblings, which are being let through. And yeah, the Dryads can intercept them, but they're pretty quick. Skinks have almost 50 speed, so they can kind of outrun much of the Wood Elf infantry and really cause a lot of disruption. And on that note, you know, both Solar Engines are still shooting. Skinks collapsing on pretty much every angle. The High Magic Caster just hanging out and being a big old thick toad. That's pretty much what toads do. And these cohorts are falling back at this point. So looking at the overall battlefield, it's pretty even. A couple Skinks and Lizardmen pockets here. These Saurus Spears have been broken down. But the big winner is that the Solar Engines are still online. And they have a little bit of buffering here. And also this whole harass angle here with Crabbling, with the Chameleons and the cohorts chasing down archers. That is a ton of really, really good value. So there goes another Solar Engine shot, maybe picking off a War Dancer, a little bit hard to tell. The Dryads kind of hanging out in the trees in their natural habitat, those ladies trying to find a way in, but the Saurus Spears should be able to hold them and maybe defeat them. Hard to say. I think Dryads get some sort of bonus for fighting in the trees. I can't remember if they do. They have like Strider, they can like walk through trees or some shit. I can't remember. I don't play Wood Elves a lot, but Bastiladon with the Solar Engine, still ripping shots, man. And the fact that they've used their ammunition is a huge boon here for the Lizards. Granted, bounce of power is pretty even. Dryka is... Where is Dryka? Is she around here somewhere? I think she's in the trees as well. Dryka helping to overload this flank. Yeah, it looks like the Saurus Spears and the little cohorts here might be in a little bit of trouble as they are losing in combat. Solar Engines shooting at the archers. And this whole flank, though, going very well for Crabbling. He's able to buckle the infantry or outmaneuver them at the very least. And now he's just collapsing on the archers. And this is a beaut right here. These Saurus Spears and all these guys are just going to move on through and probably really pressure this whole archer position. Because Chameleons are really durable against missile fire. Saurus Spears with shields, very durable against missile fire as well. Big HP pools and shielded. And yeah, archers back here are losing their fights. It's a lot of stuff that's actually going pretty south for the Wood Elves, despite the balance of power being relatively even. I think the balance is mostly even too because the Bastiladons are almost out of ammo, so that's like kind of ebbing and flowing the balance. And you know, the Wood Elves do have a lot of ammunition on their archers. Back here, these Glade Guard have pretty good ammo, but they're shooting into Saurus Spears with shields, which is really, really an unfortunate thing to have to shoot in here. That's why sometimes with Wood Elves these days, you do see them bring Wildwood Rangers or things that can more efficiently deal with Saurus, because the Eternal Guard and Dryads usually don't cut it in a duel against them. And yeah, obviously War Dancers can do good though. I guess you see a War Dancer pick here for him, which is kind of doing its thing as well. So here, more pressure. Chameleon Skink still diving onto the Glade Guard with the Hagbane tips. And here on the other side, we do have these Saurus Spears Still battling the Dryads, but of course with the big thick toad here, the Salon and its magic damage will help work down those Dryads. Even though it's not a lot, it still does add up. Indrika, in the duel of her life, being kited by this little skink. It's pretty funny to think that this little skink chief could probably defeat Drika in the long run if they just fought mano a mano, because he could just kite her into the Age of Sigmar. There goes the Bastiladon, running over Drika, pretty low on ammo, and even if they were to be compromised and or shut down at this point, it doesn't really matter, because the Bastiladons have already used all their ammo, and now they're basically just, you know, overpriced Bastiladons. I mean, but again, they're not overpriced. They've certainly done well. Looks like they've earned chevrons, at least one of them has. I think the other one is probably pretty close to earning a chevron too. Drika is able to get in combat with the skink, which does get knocked over by her branch pimp slap, and I would imagine that skink chief is going to be trying to run now. He's like, screw this shit, I'm out of here. Going to be kiting and certainly enjoying his life a little bit more. Archer line in the back really having some serious problems. There's chameleon skinks and annoying lizards all over the place. Teapot scouts are out of ammunition. I would imagine they probably did some good work this game, but the chameleons are doing some really good work, man. Just peeling in there, and the Wood Elf Infantry Corps is not very present. We have a couple War Dancers left to defend, some Eternal Guard, but really it looks like the Salon Mage with the aura of Pretzel, feeding the Wetzel's pretzels to the skinks to motivate them to fight, is going to be able to probably bust up that position. And also the Sars coming out of the tree line here, collapsing on the Blade Guard Starfire shafts. The only one that has good ammo is super out of position. And here Drika does use a Malevolent Dryad summon, but honestly Drika, like, if Crabling does grab these Bastiladons and spam click onto the Dryad here, onto Drika, he could probably kill her. Like, they're both anti-infantry monsters. They have good mass. Drika has terrible armor piercing. Like, she's probably not capable of killing the Bastiladons. They're confident. They're chilling. Gary and George here are chilling, and they're having a good old time. And yeah, you can see with this, like, a mass break coming in from the Wood Elf army, War Dancers and the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. Like, all these guys really not enjoying the situation as they're being just horribly punished by this Lizardmen Chameleon army. I'm really curious to take a look at the value on the Chameleon Skinks after this game's over. Drika on the run. She's after you, but the infinite ammo here on the Bastiladons, throwing those little darts in there, and then she gets run over again. Doesn't do damage, knocks her over, but they will get there eventually. 1700 on Drika. Oh my god, they're like taking turns cycle charging her. That's so funny. Yep, that attack does hit. The Bastiladon able to make contact there with its 200 plus weapon strength, and it's still getting in there. Drika very low. And there are a couple Dryads kind of resurging over here, but a nice Apotheosis and Shield of the Old Ones will probably allow those Saurus to hold against those superior numbers, especially with the Chameleons and other units kind of making their way back in and doing the work, man. Putting in those weights, doing them bicep curls, doing them those beach exercises here on the beach. I remember my early days of college, I used to talk to my friend Paul and be like, hey man, let's go do some beach workouts, which is like just stupid, working out your biceps and, like, you know, only the visual things, right? Drika getting run over. That's going to be it. GG. Crabling wins the series 3-1, but it was a contested, fun series for sure. We saw a Luminarch, we saw the Rogue Idol, and in the end, he wins with a fairly meta build. For sure. For sure. Let's go ahead and do this. Upgrade the scorecard here. All right, so value, Skink Chief, about 600. Saurus, nothing too crazy on them, but the little Chameleons, 900. 320, 255, not as much as you'd think. One of them actually got 1,000. So these two got 1,000. The other ones were kind of struggling a little bit there. 1,200 on the Bastiladon and 1,300 here. So they both paid for themselves. Nothing like super crazy. And for the Wood Elves, that's a shit ton of archers for sure, but they seem to kind of get compromised and flanked by the Skinks and couldn't really do much. A couple Glade Riders would have been really nice to, like, chase him down and, like, prevent his archers from being corralled like that. He had no mobility to punish the Skinks at all. And there you have it, guys. GG, well played. Crabling will be the victor here today. And on that note, my friends, I actually played a best of 5 before this. My hand's hurting a bit, especially after the stream. So that is going to be it for today's stream. I'm sorry there will be no dreaded FFA, but I'll be back streaming on Saturday and Sunday most likely. Tomorrow I'm going to be taking off. I'm going to be taking Lady Turin out to nature. But I will be back with a stream over the weekend, and we'll do some FFAs. Sunday, we actually have a faction war, like the true faction war with 16 players, which is going to be really fun. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming up in the next couple days, and of course, we can talk some Warhammer 3 with some videos soon. Dude, I can't believe the Firebark Elders won that game. That was insane. So, guys, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you to the players for sending in these replays. Without you guys, we would be nothing. But that was a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully you enjoyed some. These are some of the memeiest games we've had in the Swiss League, hands down. Big thanks to Scott Walker, Lundgren, Alex, Mike C, Panzer Blitz, Chad Tron, Scott Walker, Nermy the Nerm, Richard Long, Severax, Andrew King, Mikey, King Cool, Nermy the Nerm, Paradox, for your donations. Really appreciate that. And then also we have some new members coming in the form of Nakai the Chad, the Blackthorn, Freddie Knight, and Sid6. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that. Someday, Spartan, don't you worry. Someday. All right, guys. You guys are aces. Go enjoy your weekend. Or is it the weekend? What day is it? Is today Thursday or Friday? Shit, today's Thursday. Okay, enjoy your Thursday night. Or wherever it is in the world. Friday morning, maybe in Australia. I don't know. But guys, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you around. And hey, Lich109, if you could shoot me a message in Discord. I actually had a question about a lore question for you, if you don't mind. So shoot me a message in Discord if you don't mind. Thank you guys for joining. I'll drop a link to the Discord for anyone looking to get in a multiplayer, but that is going to be it today. Congratulations to all the players, and that's it. Firebark Elders carry, man. They're the new meta. We'll see you guys next time, and take care.